Okay, positive energy all the time. I hope everybody's having a great night. Thanks for coming through. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. Yes, indeed. Let's get it going. Steve, you play too much. You Buffalo, New York in the building. San Jose is in the house. Trenton, New Jersey is in the house. Sacramento, California. The Nola's in the building. Yeah, I was just out there in it. It's doing this thing. I started to video it. It's doing this thing out there. The Naptown is popping. I already know. It's my homie right here, Chicago in the building. It's the Rack. You already know. Tallahassee's in the building. You ain't had to run down on nobody about your daughter, have you? Y'all better leave that man, baby alone. I'm just telling you. Y'all know he crazy. Come on in, come on in. Buffalo is in the building. Fairburn, Georgia's in the building. You said they understand? Nah, they don't understand. Adriana. When I break it down, you know what I mean. They don't understand. They getting a little understanding, but you'll see why I said that though. I know what you're saying though, but now for the reasons you're saying, proves they don't understand. You know what I mean? I'm gonna break it down. Like I know the reasons you're saying that, but that really proves they don't really get it. I'm gonna explain it to you. I mean, America's a very unique country. You know, there's no other place like America, especially in terms of race. I'm gonna break that down. There's no other place. Baltimore City in the building. Oh shoot, Big Daddy. Oh, it's in high school. Oh, it's going down, boy. When you blink, she gonna be out of. She gonna be out of high school. Oh man. So you only got to be the monster one more. You only got to be a monster just for probably the rest of this year, and then you don't have to be the monster no more. Cause she be all right by the end of freshman year, sophomore year. Everything will be rolling. You know how freshman year is, Daddy might got to come up there and be a gremlin. Much respect. Thanks for the support, Stephen. Cinematic music. Cinematic music is in the building. Baltimore City in the building. All of y'all that do music, make sure you stay locked in because I'm finna go in the studio. I'm going to kick the record label back up. I'm going to be reaching out to a lot of artists, supporting a lot of artists, helping a lot of artists, getting a lot of artists' tracks, and basically executive producing from a distance. So I'm going to be setting that up, and I'm going to be over here talking about that. So I'm going to be like executive producing for you over the internet, and playing hardball. So if you're into music, I am going to be launching my executive producer help on this channel, and have whole live streams about it, even bring you in the chat. But when I bring you in the chat, I won't say everything that I'm going to say to you personally. But if you want it hardcore and you really want to get your music right, I'm going to be helping you before you release it, where you can go back and make changes. And I'm going to be like, nope, this not right, change that. The vocal here, no. You're not speaking clear here, da 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 da. African migrants in Brazil, they could get away with that in Brazil. But the United States is a different monster. And lots of blacks about to be sent home to where they don't really want to be financially. So that's why I say they don't know what they're doing. The Haitians definitely didn't know what they're doing, because they will be deported over the next 4 weeks. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into that. The deportation of a lot of these brothers and sisters to these black countries got me kind of messed up, because I do want to get a lot of immigrants out of here, because the way the Venezuelans came up here was bogus. It didn't fit in with our lifestyle. This is the problem with an open border. If people come in slow, they adapt. If they come in too fast, they won't adapt. And now you got two lifestyles in your country, and you'll basically transport their lifestyle to where you're at. So my thing is, you have to bring immigrants in slow so that they won't change your lifestyle. Okay? So let's say Eugene, you got a house. You got 2 children, a wife, and you got enough room for 4 or 5 more children, and you want to bring in some children to live with you and your wife. You got extra money. You want to raise some orphans or some people don't have parents. If you bring 5 in at one time, it will too many. It will change the way your house is running, because now those 5 will stick together and create a whole new climate and environment. If you bring in 1 and there's 4 of y'all, that 1 will adapt into that lifestyle. So now when you bring another one, they'll adapt in. So you have to bring people in slow so they can adapt. But if you just have a bunch of people run, they'll turn your home into where they used to live. And that's what happened with the Venezuelans. Too many Venezuelans came. The Haitians came unorganized too. And many of the places they live, the vibe ain't like an American vibe. The vibe is like back where they live at, which is ridiculous, because that's what you left. So what happened is it hurts the immigrants too, because they're trying to leave an environment. But if you let too many of them come, they bring the environment. This is why so many Mexicans were mad at Biden for leaving the border open, because when a bunch of people came from Mexico and South America, it messed up the Mexicans' lifestyle that was already living an American lifestyle. And they like, we left Mexico to get away from that. You know what I'm saying? You leave Haiti to get away from that. But if too many Haitians come, they're going to bring what you left with them. That's not what you want. You can even take it in neighborhoods. Like my parents, they lived in an apartment building, right? My daddy moved up here. They moved when we was babies, had us both up here. They moved from the south in the mid 50s. We lived on Stewart, then we lived on Princeton, and we kind of lived in the hood, kind of. Then they building more houses, so blacks start moving out of apartments and stuff, and blacks start getting houses out in the south suburbs. And in some cases, parents that lived in apartments down on the lower numbers, because Chicago's built from the lower numbers to the higher numbers. So we all know 116. In some cases, parents that came with older boys, the older boys bought some of that gang activity from where they lived out into this new nice neighborhood. The only thing stopped it from destroying the neighborhood, it was just a few, one here and one there. But imagine if a whole bunch of people from the area my parents lived moved to where we moved to with teenage sons. It would have ruined our neighborhood because they would have brought everything they was doing in a neighborhood that's a little more not as controlled, I should say. They would have brought all of that there. And when you get to the 90s and 2000s, that happened to black neighborhoods. As they start renting homes and stuff, many black neighborhoods in America was trash because people moved from areas where they had one type of way of living and moved into where people want to live a better way and destroyed the communities. Now cars getting broken into, homes getting broken into because you didn't move there from the low end out here, and you done brought all that foolishness that you doing, all the alcoholism, all the drug abuse, and all the food beating up, all that. You bring that to somewhere else. Africans don't really look at us as come ups. That's not true. Africans in Chicago do not. Yeah, when the projects got tore down, for sure. Africans do not look at us as come ups. That's false. Here in Chicago, Africans is over there and we over here, and there's really no intermingling. The only mingling we ever have with Africans, if we want to go get some shea butter or we want to go to one of their shops, that's the only time we see them. Or a black cultural event where they're out there selling their stuff and black Americans is out, for some type of festival. Other than that, there is no relationship in a big city like Chicago with foundational black Americans and Africans. We have like no relationship, zero. They live like on a north side in a kind of white mixed type area. This is where they move. They don't live in the black. They don't live on the south side where black Americans live at. They don't live on the west side. They'll live on the north side. That's where the Africans, the Jamaicans, it'd be Africans, Jamaicans, whites. It's a different type of community. That's where they live at. And in LA the same way. There is no connection. They don't go to our churches. They don't live in our neighborhood. They don't live on the block. They don't live on the block where we live. No, they go live in a more white. Uh, I don't know what you would call it, but it's a certain part of town. Every city has it, and it's restaurants, different things like that. More what you would call urban. And they all, once they know they live there, they all move there. Like if a couple Jamaicans live there, you're 100% right, Street Media TV. Then they all move where, though it'd be 5 Jamaicans up there, and then every Jamaican come move up there till it be a bunch of them. It'd be a, yeah, like on the outskirts. Well, Chicago's no outskirts, it's just a real big city, but there's a certain specific area. So in Chicago, they moved down past Belmont, down around St. Lawrence, around no Lawrence, down that way, like the 50 north. That's where they moved, like there, right between Belmont, the 30s, up to like the 4500 north to 5500 north, in that little slot. Yeah, uh, that's where they live at until so. What I'm talking about, see, when the Haitians and the Africans come here, Jamaicans and all of them, right? When they come here, right? We're going to stay on subject, right? That's not what we're talking about. When they come here, we're talking about the mistakes they make. See, they don't call us a kata and stuff in Chicago. Okay? They might say, like in Chicago, they don't. See, Chicago is one of the blackest cities in America. Nobody plays with black Americans in Chicago. Let's just start right there. Let's get that part, because some people, they be saying, "Oh, the Africans do this and that." That does not happen in the city of Chicago. They don't call us nothing. This is a fact. This is this is this is one of the places in the United States where Jamaicans do not call us Yankees, Africans. No, no. When I seen a couple Jamaicans say Yankees, that was in L.A. In Chicago, Mexicans, Africans, Caribbeans, they don't play at all because black Chicago is too intimidating. Okay? So in Chicago, there's no beef. In Chicago, there is no beef with black immigrants because technically they don't exist. We don't see them. See, this is a really huge city, 77 communities, and a lot of black people. So we don't see them. Like in Chicago, we don't see Africans, Caribbeans, and we don't see too many whites in Chicago. We don't see white people like that. Seriously. If you live on the west side or south side of Chicago, you're just seeing black people all the time. You ain't even seeing a whole lot of white police. It's because you go to Walgreens, tell them white flag, you go to Walgreens, you're going to see a black dude and a black woman in the police car. The only time you're going to see white police, you might see the dick boys, which we call the detectives. You might see them cruise through. You know what I'm saying? You might see them cruise through. If you want to see whites, you got to go downtown. And downtown is where you see everybody. But when you go downtown Chicago, you're going to see blacks and whites. You're going to see some immigrants, kind of a little, but Chicago is a black and white city. Would you tell them, white flame? Chicago is black and white. And then everybody else sprinkles, but the sprinkles is so little, you don't really see it. The Chinese stay around Chinatown mostly, but you don't see nobody but blacks and whites in Chicago. And in the summertime, blacks is coming here for vacation and whites. And it's just predominantly black and white. And there's no beef in Chicago between blacks and whites. There's no beef here. Because whites in Chicago they not like other whites. They're way more sophisticated and way more cultured. So black people is not no big deal to whites in Chicago. It's not nothing. It's just some more to whites in Chicago. Blacks is just some more people because whites in Chicago is around a whole bunch of black professionals. So stereotypes is everything. But when you live in the city and the bus driver's white and the police is white and the bus driver's black and the police is black and the mayor is black and politicians is black and people working in stores are black and people at the office black, you don't look at black like criminals and all that because you're surrounded by so many working people. See, a big city like this got a lot of people got to work. So Chicago is a city with big shoulders. This is a working city. Gang and them is over there in a crack in the crevice on some little street, 83rd and Colfax or something like that. They ain't like in the city. No, hell no. They ain't just in the city like that. No. Right? So with Chicago, it can't become a third world city because it's too damn big. That's the first thing. It's too big. It's too big. You're gonna get lost. Right? So let me get to my point I'm making. Black immigrants didn't understand race in America. What do I mean by that? This is what I mean. When black immigrants came to America, they made a horrible mistake. They should have been black. That's why they're getting deported. The Haitians should have been black. They should identify as black. The Africans should not identify as Nigerian. They should identify as black. In America, there's only black and white, Asian and Hispanic. That's it. There is no Chinese. It's Asian. In America. America is identified strictly by race. You might be a Mexican, but in America, you Hispanic. You're not Mexican. In America, you might be Chinese, but you're Asian. You're not Chinese in America. Exhibit A, what? Stop what? Asian hate. So in America, you black, white, Asian, Hispanic. That's it. Period. If you're not that, you fall between the cracks. That's a fact. If you're a Nigerian, you're out of there. The Africans made a mistake because they're not black. So the government can run over. The Haitians, out of here. Africans, out of here. Jamaicans, out of here. Now, if they was black, the government would have dealt with them differently because if they would have been black, if they would have identified as black, they would have made an allegiance with black Americans. There would have been marriages. There would have been babies. African sisters from African continent would have been having black American babies. Black American one would have been having their babies. And the European in America, not running down on you if you connected with us. See, let me tell you something that I notice about a lot of black brothers around the continent. When the whole thing with ICE came, that's when I knew they didn't understand America. A lot of people don't understand America. I seen a lot of people saying they gonna come for y'all next. You don't know America. They don't play with black Americans. Black Americans have to get caught up in the justice system doing individual crimes. But as far as open attacks on black Americans, they ain't gonna never do that. Never. They don't play with us like that. You're not gonna see no Ku Klux Klan go to Philadelphia walking around talking crazy. Chicago, no. And a lot of people don't understand that. They don't know nothing about black Americans. They don't play with us. Period. Trump is not going to play with us. That is a fact. He's having a hard time getting out the Somalians and the rest of them. Playing with us, the country would be closed. Country be closed. They don't really play with us. You gotta understand, we've been in a Revolutionary War, Civil War, World War I, World War II. Now we're Americans. Too much money get lost playing with us. Basically, attacking us, America will be closed for business. No matter how it turn out, America will be closed. No money will be shut down. I'm just telling you. They know it. Because too much of the economy, the sports and everything is connected to that. We're a major part of the money here. Look at this. Deport black Americans. See, the people you can't deport nobody where there's nowhere to deport them, bro. What? You can only deport somebody to their country. This is our country. There is nowhere to deport us. We're Americans. What are you talking? What? The people who support Matt the most have no interest in trying to deport. What? That doesn't make much sense. Okay, let me delete that. I don't want nobody. I want everybody to be intelligent. He said nobody wants to deport. I keep telling them there's nowhere to deport us. Why does he keep using the word deport for Americans? Deport is for foreigners, bro. What do you mean nobody wants to deport Americans? You don't understand that black Americans are Americans. A deport is foreigners, bro. You can't. What? This just proved my point, how people don't know nothing about black Americans. Because there's people really think that you could just pick a place out your butt and send black Americans to somebody else's country. Where are you going to send black Americans? You can send, listen, not just that. You can send a Nigerian to Nigeria. You can send Jamaicans to Jamaica. You can send a Haitian to Haiti, right? Where are you going to send a black American? There is no black American country where they came from to send them back. What the hell? Do y'all know what deport means? Deport means send you back where you came from. We ain't came from nowhere. We foundational. We've been here since the country was built. We've been here since the 1600s. We've been here before the country was built. We've been here before white people. Deport. So that's why I got to come over here and teach because people don't understand that. That's not even, that could never be on the table. That could never be on the table. Deporting is for immigrants. We are not immigrants. But to get back to my subject, the brothers from the black people that came here wasn't black. And so that's why I say black immigrants didn't understand race in America. America don't do Germans. America don't do Italians. America don't do Polish. America do white. They white in America. And an Italian man, a younger man that's to feel like his family's Italian, he go to college, he see a white girl he like, he just date and have a baby. She ain't Italian. They ain't trying to marry no Italian. A young white dude, whites now ain't even Italians or Greeks or none more. They're already mixed. Whites in America are already mixed. That's why we don't have that many. We only have a few like Greek restaurants, a few Italian restaurants. That's a dying business because very few are staying pure Italian. Very few are staying pure Irish. They mix it. When a young white dude go to college, he fall in love with Jessica. He don't give a damn what Jessica is. He just love her. She just a white woman. He don't go there saying, oh, my family most is Irish. Let me find an Irish. No, that any girl he like and fall in love with, that's who he gonna marry. There's whole documentaries here in Chicago about the Greek neighborhoods and Italian neighborhoods went away because they got to mix it. And it show you in the gangster picture with the young guy at the end that was doing all that stuff with the powder, and he had an Italian wife, but he was cheating with the other white girl, and the mob come and told him, go home to your wife. At the end, they chasing him with the helicopters and all of that. He was sleeping, he wasn't sleeping with no Italian woman. He was just sleeping with a white lady he liked. They showed you then that was supposed to be back in the 50s or the 60s. So imagine now. You understand? So like it's Russians over here, but they just got here. They're not going to be able to stay Russians. Yeah, good fellas. There's Russians over here. And they get to be Russians when they first get here. And we got some little Polish areas and stuff like that, but it won't stay. My friend Uncle Mike, his wife Polish, from Polish, she speak Polish. He ain't Polish. So we got some little areas where they do got their little ethnic group, but it don't represent the United States because the men is sleeping with any woman they fall in love with. Yeah, she was Jewish, yeah. And good fellas. Yeah, they not doing that. Like the only group that is keeping themselves like that is the Jewish people. Building a little Jewish community, having it like where they go to school right there and kind of stay right there. And they trying to guide everybody to go that direction. But that ain't working 100% either. Because when they sons get older and fall in love with a woman, and then what do? They bring you into the Jewish religion. And you know what I'm saying? They got ceremonies to bring you into the Jewish religion. You ain't even Jewish because the Jewish people ain't even Jewish. Them some Europeans. You know what I'm saying? They Jewish. They wish they was Jews. You know what I mean? That's why they Jewish. Yeah, because they They ain't even Jewish. They East Europeans. They Eastern Europeans. They not the real children of Israel, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about why, because because the whole thing, I want them to get a lot of the immigrants out, but then a lot of my friends is Africans and stuff like that, and you know, the Ethiopians be trying to stay separate, but maybe in Washington D.C., but Chicago, they trying to stay separate, but they such a small group, it don't really matter. There ain't nobody. And them women is going. Because me and my boy, we went and we was talking to an Ethiopian lady. We was like, man, how can we meet some Ethiopian ladies? We come to the restaurant. She said, oh, no, you can't meet us at the restaurant stuff. You got to come to our parties. So she let us know if we go to the Ethiopian parties, you get an Ethiopian wife. Because if you got the gift of gab and you handsome, a woman going to go. I don't give a damn where she from. Any woman can fall in love with you. And any man can fall in love with any woman. So that stuff, love conquers all that. But the point I'm trying to make is that the brothers and sisters from Haiti, Jamaica, and stuff, they didn't understand that being Jamaican, being Haitian, being Nigerian, being Ethiopian is not going to work because in America, they do color, they do race, they don't do your country. They don't do that here. So when you come here and you try to be a Nigerian or you try to stay like that, you're going to be outnumbered and overran. And it's going to disintegrate because you're going to come here, you're going to try to stay together as some Nigerians. You're going to have your son, you're going to send him to school. He's not going to be able to go to a Nigerian school because there ain't enough Nigerians. So he's going to have to go to school with either whites or blacks. And you're going to look up and your Nigerian son going to have a European white girlfriend. He going to fall in love. He going to marry you and he going to have a baby by her or by a black American woman. He not going to be able to meet no Nigerian girl. Only that generation that come is able to deal with each other. Once they have a lot of children and send them in the world, them children don't have nowhere to go to meet their own kind. Well, I got a Nigerian son. He at the university. It ain't no whole bunch of Nigerian women there. Where he gonna get a girlfriend from? He gonna get any girl he like. He get horny. He gonna wait for a Nigerian woman. So when you come here, you're gonna breed out anyway. You're gonna breed out because there's not enough. You're not in Nigeria. You're not going to be able to find a Nigerian wife. It's not going to happen. So they didn't adapt to the United States. And the United States is not, you can't be no country. United States don't do countries. They do race. It's Stop Asian Hate. It's Black Lives Matter. It's white this, it's black that, it's Asian that, it's Hispanic that. That's the United States. They don't do Mexican. You can be a Mexican, you can have a little Mexican restaurant and stuff, but you can't get anywhere. You won't have no power. I give you an example. If you're a Mexican, we're a bunch of Mexicans. Election time comes, congressman running. In our neighborhood, there's a Hispanic dude running, but he's not Mexican. Let's say he's from Costa Rica or he Puerto Rican. We got to vote for him because he Hispanic. We got to vote for the Hispanic that's running for mayor, no matter what Hispanic he is. If we wait to vote just for a Mexican, he's not going to win because he can't win with the Mexican vote. The only chance he got to win is with the entire Hispanic vote. The Cubans, everybody, the Argentinians, that's the only way he can win. He's not going to win with just Mexican. He's not going to win. He's got to win with the Hispanic vote. A white politician cannot win with the German vote. He can't win with the Italian vote. He can only win with the white vote. This is a fact. Not only that, if you're in a big city like Chicago, you got to get some of them crossover votes. So you got to get the white vote and some black vote and some Hispanic and Asian vote, or you're not going to win, period. You got to get some of all of them races to vote. But you can't win based on your country in America. And this where the black immigrants messed up. Yeah. Yep, Elijah, you already know Robert. And that's because Elijah didn't have the updated information now, because they saying the information now is that black people's over the whole world before anybody, that we really was everywhere. Is the new updated teachers now is that black people covered this whole world was melanated everywhere. The islands, all the islands everywhere was melanated. Is the new updated teacher. Everywhere they went, we was there already. They showing pictures of blacks everywhere, all in Asia, Japan, China. Boy, Elijah would have went, he would have went bonkers if he had access to the information we got now. Boy, we got some stuff, man. The Indians is in the medical field, trying to take over the medical field. They doing their thing. In the medical field. They definitely in the medical field doing their thing. But they're able to, they're doing the best they can to try to stay separate, but it ain't going to work. 2 generations from now, the Indians will be mixed. It ain't going to work. Because they're not going to be able to provide no wives for the men. They ain't going to be able to do it. They ain't going to be able to provide no wives for all them young Indian men. Them Indian men ain't going to marry no Indian women. The further they out of India, the less they going to play that game. Right now, a whole bunch of Indian men are married to European women in this country. Right now. They marry white women. A bunch of them, Steve. A bunch of Indian men is married to white women in this country right now. They ain't going to have no Indian baby. They're going to have a baby that's Indian and white. Country won't last in the United States. It won't last. They have their own towns because they're just a close generation. That's all. It's always going to be like that with the generation close to coming. They ain't been coming long. But it's going to be impossible for them to keep their kids out of American culture. It's not going to happen. It's going to be impossible to keep their sons and their grandsons from falling in love with any woman. Yeah, they ain't going to be able to keep them 2 generations, 2 more generations now. It ain't no way they're going to be able to keep them boys to only sleep with Indian women. It ain't going to happen. They just doing it because they straight from the old country. They not that far from the old country. But that son and that grandson ain't going to know shit about India. for now, but the next generation ain't gonna care. So you got this generation to disown you if you do it, but this generation ain't gonna disown them if they do it. See what I'm saying, Steve? So you got this one coming, and you got this one coming. They buying by the rules. And then this generation disowns this generation if they don't marry India. But this generation ain't gonna do that. Exactly, G-Rock. A certain generation gonna come, they're not gonna do that. Yeah, they want to holler at the brothers. Yeah, yeah, they're not gonna be able to do that, especially with college, because college got her out there isolated, and the young ladies, whatever boy they meet at college, young man they meet, that's it. They're not able to pick and choose out their race. They might not. A black young lady that goes to college, she might not see the black dude she like. She might like a white dude. She might like any dude because she don't see nobody or nobody's coming at her. Because women got to wait for a man to approach them. So if she's a black woman at a school with all different races, and black dudes ain't pushing up on her, and a white dude push up on her and take out to dinner, he's nice, and she start liking him, that's who she gonna be with. Same for a black male. You're a black male, you're in Nebraska going to school. It ain't really no black women really giving you no rhythm, or it just ain't connection. Susie, y'all connect, she like you, she start flirting, she start being nice, y'all start doing homework together, y'all start kissing, next thing you know, that's your woman. Then everybody be like, what are you doing with that white girl? No, it wasn't like that. It was natural. That'll happen naturally. Oh, she just with him because he's an athlete. No, she met him at college. Had nothing to do. He was an athlete, but she met him at college. And most time when you see them meet them athletes, go back and find out how it happened. She was a cheerleader. She was somebody always around the athletic program. Duh, it wasn't like she just came from far from the school and dated a football player. It don't go like that. She dated a football player because she was affiliated with sports, always around the gym, always around the field, always around the track and field situation, always around the basketball court. That's the only reason he met her. If she wasn't around the sporting situation, he wouldn't really be close enough to her to talk to her. That's a fact. Like when I went to music college, and there was some white girls there Google eyeing me and stuff. But because I'm going back to the hood, I already got a black girlfriend. But imagine if I went to that same music college in some small state somewhere, and when I go home, it ain't a lot of black women. Then I would have talked to one of them white girls. I'm still a male. I'm still a male. I'm gonna still have a sex drive for a woman. Race ain't got nothing to do with it. Especially when you're young, you don't really develop that strong racial. You don't have that when you're young. That's something you get when you get older. You don't got all that super black pride or super white pride and all that stuff when you're young. And so when the brothers and sisters came from the Caribbean and stuff to America, they tried to do Jamaican, Trinidadian, Nigerian, stuff like that. They didn't do black. And America only do color. America only do race. And they just never did it. The black brothers and sisters came here, they should have did black. They should have been already breeded in with us, where they would have had some protection. But when you come, because we black, We Black Americans. We realize color. And people say, why would you call yourself black? Because we live in a racial country. We live in a country go by color. It is what it is. We didn't make the rules. America go by color. How many times you heard them call Native Americans the red man? They call them the red man. So they call them red. In America, they go by color. So when the brothers and sisters came in from the Caribbean and Africa, they didn't do color. They didn't even do country. They just tried to do, I'm Nigerian, I'm that. That's why they getting deported. That's why they on the outskirts. That's why white America gonna take everything from them, no matter what they achieve. Why? Because they not black. So once you say, "Oh, I'm Nigerian, I'm that," now you little. So if you black, you big. It's a lot of you. But if you Nigerian, you Ghanaian, you small. You're not connected with the black world in America. And you know when you're small, you get bullied. And the Africans made a horrible mistake with that. They didn't know, but now I'm looking back, this is what I'm seeing. I'm saying, oh, they made a mistake by not being black. They left themselves out on the island. Because the people that run this country, they not Irish, they not Italian, they not Greece, they white. And that's why Trump brought the South Africans over here, because they white. They gonna bring them over here and they gonna be white American citizens. They not gonna get to be South Africans. Would I like to visit Africa? I don't see no benefit from visiting Africa. But I would like to go to Egypt and buy me get some custom made jewelry, and maybe go to Ethiopia getting some of that holy honey. But I don't see what I would get from it. Pretty much when you travel and meet people when you travel, they phony. So I learned early, when you travel, everybody phony. If I go to Africa and visit and they know I'm there as a tourist, oh yeah, and I move there, all them smiles gonna go away if I move there. I ain't gonna get that. You get food, you go there, they know you're a tourist. It's, oh yeah, where you from? But move there. So that's a fake love you're gonna get when you visit. You ain't gonna get that when you move there. Facts. You go visit Hawaii, you're going to get one treatment from the Polynesians. Move to Hawaii and live there, you're going to get another treatment. I ain't going no goddamn Swaziland. For what? What they got in Swaziland for me? Nothing. Ain't nothing in Africa for me. The rosters that went to Africa ain't provided nothing for the rest of the blacks around the world, but no benefit. If you got blacks all around the world and you go to Africa and then there's no way they benefit from that, you didn't do nothing. You understand? You ain't do nothing. I remember when rosters first started going to Africa, nothing became of it. If you look at Jamaica and you look at how much love rosters from Jamaica had for Africa, show me where Africa returned love back to Jamaica. Show me one country that invested a quarter in Jamaica. And then you'll have your answers. The Chinese is going in Jamaica running it. The Africans don't do nothing for the Jamaican people. Marcus Garvey is one of the most famous people to promote going to Africa, a Jamaican, and show me where Africa reciprocate any love to Jamaica. None. As a matter of fact, Shashamani chased Rastas out of Africa. Them Africans got beat up and everything in Shashamani. Bulldozed, they think. See, Rastas ain't gonna tell y'all that. When His Majesty invited Rasta to come to Shashamani, and Rastas went to Shashamani, man, them Oromo people beat them Rastas up and everything. One brother, they beat him up so bad, and he couldn't go to the hospital until he went to the police station, and he almost bled out at the police station. All them Rastas left. All them Rastas left Shashamani. Ethiopia, repatriation to Ethiopia was a total failure. The only place got a lot of Rastas is South Africa, and them is weirdo Rastas. Them ain't even Rastas. Every group that made up some weird ideology, some weird off-brand African make-believe Rasta ideology. They ain't even Rasta. They just made it up, make it up as they go. Go look it up. You said you seen YouTube. Go look up on YouTube Rasta's bulldoze in Shashamani. Go type it right now and come back. Listen, man, they don't be telling y'all. Mortimer Plano and my brethren, Ross Kojo. Mortimer was the one brought His Majesty out the plane. So Mortimer went with His Majesty. They flew and they went and traveled, and then Mortimer went to Africa to do a thorough investigation and see was Africa fit for Rasta to go to Africa. And Mortimer Plano came back to Jamaica and said, no, Africa is not fit to go. As a matter of fact, Africa was worse than Jamaica. Look it up. All these Rastas that be coming over here, they are bootleg. They ain't no real Rastas, no Rasta culture. These Rastas that be coming over here, they not real Rasta men like his history of Rasta. They be bootleg. Them the ones trying to turn Rasta into a religion. Because any Rasta man that know Rasta culture know that Shashamani failed, know that Mortimer say don't go, and know that Rasta never really could go to Africa because Africa not ready. And also know that in Shashamani, the Aroma hate Haile Selassie. Any real Rasta that really know the culture know that. And know that Rasta teach that it's not time. And any elder tell you that. Any elder Rasta that's really honest, that ain't no weirdo religious fake Rasta, real Rasta man. Not no fake Bobo Christian. Nah, them they Rastas. Them is Christians turning Rasta into Christianity. Okay? From a youth, Rasta told me, it ain't time, youth man. Africa not ready. Any Rasta man don't tell you that is bootleg and wouldn't last 20 minutes with me on a debate. 20 minutes, they'll be embarrassed. 20 minutes. Because you can't go nowhere without men and the infrastructure to take care of your people. That's all make-believe. If I'm going to encourage Black Americans to go to Africa, I'm going to make sure there's an infrastructure for them when they get there. I'm not going to do like the year of return. And a lot of them Black people return from the year of return. The year return in Ghana was a total failure. Total. It was a failure. Black people over there can't get no medical treatment like they thought, can't afford to live there because you got to pay a year's rent. You can't pay a month, and they ain't getting no love. Not in Africa. There's content creators that have been doing YouTube videos in Africa, and they had to bounce from country to country. Africa is not fit. That's all make-believe. Yeah, that's all. Ain't nothing in Africa for black people in Africa. Because Africans don't even run Africa. So what I look like going to Africa to live under Russians, Americans, French, British, and Chinese. Africans don't run Africa. Listen, young black people, you can always tell who run the country by who provide that country weapons. And whoever provide that country weapons, run that country. It can come in there with more weapons and run you out. And every nation there got weapons from America or Russia or France or China. So how I'm going to move somewhere and you begging the Chinese? Pan-Africanisms and fake Rastas that we talking about going to Africa, these people is fake. You got to understand with Rastas, a lot of Rastas is Rastas for this many years and disappeared. You can't follow them to make sure they stay Rastas for their whole life. So Rastas pop up and disappear, pop up and disappear. The same dude that'll talk some Rasta stuff to you now, you can't even find him 5 years from now. None of these bootleg ass Rastas was here when I started, and they ain't gonna be here later. That's a fact. You can go anywhere and you'll see the Rasta group constantly changing. Different brethren cutting their knot to y'all. And a new group coming, they be bootleg, and then they disappear. They ain't firm like that. They try, that's religion. They try to make a weird religion. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no time to be in Africa just walking around being no damn tourist. I got children to feed and grandchildren. I got things to do. My children's adults, they got children. I got real things to do. And then the concept of me leaving my family, that's a fool concept. You ever seen a Rasta, when they talk about going to Africa, talk about your mother and your father and your children? No, they always be weirdos, just say, me go to Africa. Okay, I got 6 children. I got grandchildren. What fool Rasta gonna tell me that I could take all my children and all my grandchildren to Africa? So what? I either gotta leave my children and my grandchildren, right? Right. So y'all think I should leave my grandchildren and children, my sister and my relatives over here and go to Africa to live with them, with their relatives? The Africans over there with all their relatives. I done went my fool ass over there, my relatives here. I'll run a back to African Rasta off the stage, embarrass and make him cry. That's a fool concept made by Marcus Garvey, who never moved to Africa. Right there, the concept should have been over. When the main person that pushed back to Africa never made it and ended up passing away in Europe, that's dead. Where can you make up a concept or push a concept that you don't follow and think we supposed to follow it? Whatever. But I'm talking about coming this way. And the Africans made a big mistake by not being black. See the other groups, like the Chinese and all them, the Chinese They don't be Chinese when they dealing with the government. They don't deal with the government as Chinese. They deal with the government as Asians. This is how the Chinese, when they deal with the government, they lock in with the Japanese, the Koreans. They lock in with they be Asians, so they more powerful. They only be Chinese when they doing business, Chinese restaurant, Chinese clothes in Chinatown. But when it comes to political, they Asians. When them Asians got beat up, right? They was a specific type of Asian, right? Well, why they didn't say stop Filipino hate or stop Korean hate? No. What did they say? They said stop Asian hate. They unified as Asians because they looking at it like this. If I go attack a Korean, they feel like I don't necessarily know that Korean was a Korean. So they looking at it like I'm attacking an Asian. If you're a Nigerian and the police attack you, they don't know you're not Nigerian, but they know you black. They don't know if you Ghanaian. They don't know if you Trinidadian. They don't know none of that. So when you just a Nigerian, you ain't got no backup. This is where the black ones made a mistake. When they came over here, they should have been black. They should have been black. You know, a lot of Africans saying we shouldn't have delineated. How phony is that when you're delineated? You didn't come over here as a black person or African. You came over here as a Nigerian. That is delineating. All foundational black Americans is doing is what Africans and Jamaicans and Trinidadians been doing. You're the first one to be delineated. Ghanaians ain't Africans, they're delineated. They are Ghanaians. So they show you how phony it is, but they want to tell black Americans we shouldn't delineate when Africans are delineated. If you're a Nigerian, that's delineation. That's a fact. That's a fact. Delineate. Indicate the exact position of a border. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. You tell me this is not Africans. So this don't describe brothers and sisters from Africa. Delineate. Describe, portray, define, designate, differentiate, distinguish, identify, personalize, represent, stamp. So you telling me when you say you are Ghanaian, you're not defining, you're not designating. If you say you are a Ghanaian, that is delineate. That's the same as FBA. So when you see all these brothers, African and pro-black Pan-Africans saying that we need to be Africans, but the Africans ain't African, them is fools. I'll chase them off. I'll embarrass you. If you're a Pan-African, I will embarrass you in front of everybody. I will totally embarrass you. Soon as you talk against delineation, I will embarrass you because the whole Africa is delineated down to the country and down to the tribe. So you sound like a fool. We're the last ones to delineate. We was the ones trying to be black. We was the ones pushing unity. Africans ain't never pushed unity. Neither have the Caribbean. Them Jamaicans and Trinidad, they ain't even Caribbeans. They Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Virgin Islanders, Ghanaians, Nigerians, Ethiopians, South Africans, Senegalese. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? We were the ones in the 60s said black to make it possible for all black people to be unified. Black was the unification. That's a fact. Black power. Black was the unification call that we made in the 60s. And no blacks joined our call. So we just ended up Black Americans. Tell me I'm lying. The only word we had that would represent all of us was black. Everybody could have been black. All the African brothers could have been black. All of the black people in the Caribbean could have been black. Everybody could have been black. No, you stayed a Nigerian, you stayed an Ethiopian. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let's take Rasta. Rasta say Africa for the Africans, right? Those at home and those abroad. Well, Africa for the Africans meant that we would all identify as Africans, right? How you going to say Africa for the Africans, but you keep calling yourself Jamaican? The Jamaican Rastas was not highly intelligent enough to push Pan-Africanism because they stayed Jamaicans. It don't say Africa for the Jamaicans. It say Africa for the Africans. But the Jamaican Rastas was never Africans. They stayed Jamaicans. They stayed Yardman. Means a Yardman. Means from Yard. So you can't push Africa for Africans if you ain't no African. You's a damn Jamaican. You's a Trinidadian. You's a Belizean. So all that reggae music about Africa for the Africans is all fraudulent and fake. I watch Jamaican Rastas get on stage and sing Africa for the Africans and get off stage and turn back to a Jamaican. On stage, it was an African. On stage, the reggae artist is Africans. Off stage, they Jamaicans. Go talk to somebody else. You're a grave walker. What I want to talk to you for? Go talk to somebody else. I don't want to talk to you. You don't even have enough decency to have a good name, and you're trying to give knowledge, and you call yourself grave walker. Who's going to listen to you? What kind of knowledge you got? And you name yourself after death. Boy, if you don't get off my page, what a grave walker could tell me. Shut up, man, and listen. You ain't qualified to teach nobody nothing. You don't even have no dignity to give yourself no decent name on social media. Who gonna listen to somebody call themselves grave walker? And you got some knowledge? Boy, you chatting your life away. You saying you don't want to live. You saying I don't want to live. I'm a grave walker. And you trying to teach me something? Grave walker? Dude. You know who you're talking to? I ain't got no name like Dick Gregory. I don't have a name like Dr. Yosef Ben Shahyan. I don't have a name like Louis Farrakhan. Because I'm a lot like Christ. I was outside. But I can go with any of them. I could go with Farrakhan. I make Farrakhan start stuttering. On my soul, I've been outside. On the buses, on the trains, on the blocks. I ain't been beating on my chest, no famous pro-black person. But I step on all that. It's cool. I respect them. They ain't on my level. They just not. I studied all them as a little boy. I studied all them when I was 20, 21. I've been stepped on all that knowledge. I got my own concepts from life. I don't got no make-believe concepts. I got real life concepts based off of real life experiences, based off what we really can do, not no make-believe. No, real life. And I'm telling you right now that the brothers and sisters made a mistake because they came to a country where people is white, black, Asian, and Hispanic. And they want to be Ghanaian, Nigerian, so they have no allies. And in a country or in the streets and gangs or in the country, when they see that everybody got a gang and you solo, the gang gonna run over you. And black immigrants is solo. They got no backup. You's a Nigerian. You're not black. You got no backup. When they throw you out, nobody care. Because you don't have that sound. It's word, sound, and power. So nobody's relating that they throwing black people out. You're not looked at as black people. You looked at as Haitians. Nobody gonna stand up for Haitians. They gonna stand up for black people. Black people gonna stand up for black people, but black people ain't gonna stand up for Haitian because that's not black people. You just a Haitian. Bye. Get out. You should have been black. You just a Ghanaian. Bye. You should have been black. You wanted to stay a Ghanaian. You didn't want to be black, so go back to Ghana. Bye. Now you can be Ghanaian. Congratulations. Because we black over here. And the European is white. He's the reason we black. The Moors is dumb because we're black because he's white. That's a fact. We had to be black because he was unified as white, so we unified as black. A Moor is a nobody. Moors cannot battle white people because it's just a little stupid group. There's a fact. You want to be Ghanaian, you want to be Nigeria, go back to Ghana and Nigeria. Bye. You should have been black. And if you would have been black, you would have loved us. You would have loved other black brothers. We would have mixed in and been impossible to get out of here. If we would have been black and we having babies, Jamaicans having babies with brothers from Ghana, brothers from Chicago having babies with brothers from Nigeria, and we black and we got these black children, we could have stood on the government and be like, nah, you ain't sending no black people back to no Africa. These black people. If I got babies, if I had babies by a woman from Nigeria, right? Back when I was 20-something, and I had 2 sons and 2 daughters, and now they got grandsons, they can't throw her out. They wouldn't be able to throw her out. Facts. Because we black. She didn't breed it in with me. We black people. We black people. She not Nigerian. I'm not Chicago. I'm not a black American. She not Nigerian. We black people. We got 4 children. They black. We got grandchildren. They black. They black Americans. I'm foundational black Americans. The rest of them is black Americans. the children and the grandchildren are half FBA, but we black. So that would be the protection for the Nigerian woman. You understand? You understand? That would be protection for the Nigerian woman because she would be black. I mean, that ain't what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to go that route and point fingers and do all that. I'm trying to break down that Semitics are black. So I'm not trying to get into none of that. I'm trying to stay on what you see what my title say? Black immigrants didn't understand race in America. That's all I'm talking about. All that other stuff y'all do in the event, that don't fit this conversation. And plus we heard it a million times. Let's move on. This is high level conversation. I'm talking about the term black. I'm talking about America. I'm not talking about all that. So if you can't add to what I'm saying, just be quiet, all right? If you can't add to this conversation, be quiet. Because this is a specific conversation. I'm breaking down some serious science. In America, it's color, period. And color represents race. So it's the white race, the black race, the red race, the yellow race. This is how America functions. America don't function by country or by your heritage from no country. America don't do Italian and all that. They do white. When it comes to that, you have to do that at home. You cannot do that in the public. Trump just brought over a bunch of people from South Africa, right? To do what? To increase the white race. To have some white children. They can't be South Africans now. They got to be white. He didn't bring them. Listen, he didn't bring them over here to be South Africans. I'm telling you. They got to be white Americans. Listen, these are South Africans. What's in their hand? Red, white, and blue, ain't it? They got to come in and breed with white Americans. They can't just keep sleeping with each other. No. They got to come in and they got to marry into white American families and have babies because the next generation ain't having enough babies. So they need babies. Their birth rate is going down, ours too, but theirs is going down a little bit more than ours. We got to get our birth rate up too. They bought these people here for babies. You see them children? They want them young girls to grow up and have babies. And they not going to get to be South Africans. I'm giving you game. You think they brought them here to be South Africans? No. They white now. He bought them over here because he white. He bought them over here because he like the blacks in Africa was mistreating the whites in South Africa. That's the concept. Not we're going to go save South Africans. No, we're going to go save these white people in South Africa from these black people in South Africa. That's America. America is straight to the point. They don't play fake make-believe like the rest of the world. The rest of the world, y'all playing. This world is black, white, yellow, red, and brown. That's what this world is. Anybody tell you it's not is lying. Your country don't mean nothing. What race are you? Period. When they go into Africa, to them, it's a bunch of black people. The Africans think they different stuff. But to the people in there taking their natural resources, they all the same. That's a fact. You can't tell me nothing. I went to a public school from kindergarten to sixth grade. And my mother and them didn't want me to go to public schools because they were starting to deteriorate. So she sent me to a Lutheran school in the seventh grade. And when I went to the Lutheran school and came in, there was only 2 black girls in there. And the 7th and 8th grade was in the same class because it's a small school paid for by the church. So the 7th and 8th grades together, the 5th and 6th graders together like that. Because the church is paying for it. They don't got no lot of money for no big school. It's a little school. And I came into the school black. I'm looking at the black people and I lock in with the black people immediately. And sure enough, the white dudes, they was on white stuff. As soon as I came there. He said, are you saying they came to America as not wanting to have any connections with black? No, I'm saying what I said. Why do I say something and you ask me what I'm saying when I already said what I'm saying? Did I say that? See, here go the politics. I said what I said, right? Why is he asking me, did I say something when I already said what I said? Right? I said what I said, right? I didn't say none of that he's saying, did I? So why is he asking me that I said what he said when he ain't listening to what I said? So let me ask you something. So you didn't hear what I said? So you trying to ask me what I said? Go rewind the video, bro. Stop playing trigonometry with me, trying to ask me, so you said this. No, I said what I said. Go rewind it. So you saying, no, I'm saying what I said. So you saying you want to hear what I said? That's what you saying? You saying you didn't understand what I said the first time? Well, that's a you problem. That ain't a me problem. I'm not finna repeat myself. Rewind the video and see what I said. And stop asking me, so you said what I'm trying to say you said? No, I didn't say what you trying to say. He heard what I said. He trying to play, but this big Pharaoh get embarrassed. The difference between you and me is I'm a real lion, and that's you got a cartoon of a lion. My name really Pharaoh. Stop playing with me. And next time, get a lion that look more ferocious. Don't get no lion like that in your picture. Because that lion don't look right. This internet games. Internet games. I said they came here to breed because they need more babies. And he wanted to save them from the blacks in South Africa. So he brought them over here because the blacks in South Africa is getting more and more powerful, and a lot of farmers is losing their life over there, and Trump ain't got the ability to go over there and save them yet. So he tried to get some out of there and bring them over here so they could breed in, to come over here and be white. Has nothing to do with us at all. I didn't say nothing about us. And they're going to bring more in. Listen, y'all, answer me a question. When he throw all these blacks in, who he going to bring to replace them? When he throw these Nigerians out and all these Africans and all these Caribbeans out, you don't think he going to bring somebody in? He going to bring whites in. And he got orders for whoever take over from him if he gets sick and gone to do just that. If it's J.D. Vance, they already know what it is. Get these blacks out of here. Get these Hispanics out of here. And make some room and bring some whites in. They mad because they saying all that money and help should have went to whites. And they 100% right. Because you're supposed to look out for your own. So I don't got no problem with J.D. Vance and Trump and what they doing, because they white men and they supposed to look out for white men. And the day where you're a black man and you ain't looking out for black men, but then you want to get mad at a white man for looking out for white men, you phony. Because Trump is better with his people than you is with yours. Trump doing better for his people than you doing for yours. How you gonna hate him when you the one ain't doing what you supposed to do with your people? And them whites gonna come in here and they gonna be white. They ain't gonna be no damn South African. They ain't gonna be nothing. They gonna be white Americans. Facts. They ain't gonna come over here like the Nigerians. They ain't gonna come over here like the Jamaicans. They ain't gonna come over here and call other white people a kata. They ain't gonna come over here and call white Americans nothing like the black ones come over here and do us. Let me ask you something. Are these white people gonna come over here and look down on white Americans the way black immigrants come over here and mistreat and look down on us? Yes or no? Absolutely not. They're gonna come in and they're gonna get in where they fit in. But look how the black immigrants come over here and do us. So the black immigrants, you come up here, you do us messed up. Look. Let's take it off of race. Let's take it to family. The brothers and sisters from Africa and the Caribbean, they don't got the basic knowledge from their parents. Let's talk about family. As a young black man in America, I was taught by my mother that you don't go in front of no other people and let them see you mistreating your own. That if you got a little brother, if you're in the sixth grade and your brother's in the fifth grade, and you go up to that school and them kids see you mean to your little brother, them kids gonna mistreat your little brother and you. My mother taught me that you're showing division between you and your little brother, and they gonna do both of y'all dirty. And my mother taught me that when I go to school, I'm in the fifth grade, my sister in the fourth grade, don't say nothing to my sister. It's going down. And I'm not going to make no joke out of my sister in front of y'all. I'm not going to mistreat my sister in front of y'all. I'm going to treat my sister like a princess. Because if I mistreat my sister, none of them children going to respect me or her. So it's known off the top, don't say nothing to my sister. It's going down immediately. And all I'm showing with my sister is unity in front of these children. My mother taught me that. You know, me and my sister like this. I'm big brother. That's my sister. I protect her. I'm not doing nothing but honoring her. I'm not telling no jokes. She ain't the butt of no jokes. None of that. As a matter of fact, I don't even bother. I stay away from her. She got her little friends. I got my friends. And as long as none of them little boys in her class get out of line, cool. But as soon as one of them little boys get crazy, he get chased home. Facts. A couple little boys found out the hard way. That's why my sister love me right now, because my sister had it made, because big brother's not doing none of that. She don't got no enemies. Where? Don't let me smell no enemy. This is how black people supposed to be. This is how you're supposed to be, but we not like that. We not like that. So if you come here from Africa and whites hear you got this thing from us, white Americans are going to dog you. See, these brothers from African Rib, they don't know. You see, Trump and them don't like black immigrants because they see you don't treat black Americans. Man, y'all don't know psychology. Them white people not gonna like no foreign black mistreating us. They not gonna like it. Even if we don't get along as much as we can, you come over here and they see you don't like us and you black, they don't like you. Because you represent something they detest. And people put stuff in their own, so they like, we would never do that to no whites. What's wrong with them? They not gonna like you because you're doing something they don't do. They not doing that. Long time ago, they decided, okay, we can't be Italian and all that stuff no more. That's so, we gotta be white. We can't let these black people and these other people see us fighting. They been squashed that. They been got rid of that. They been got together and say, you know what? We got to be white. Because if we get in front of these other people fighting, we ain't going to have no respect. Y'all better listen. They been got together and said, you know what? We can't do that. We cannot get in front of these people and let them see us as white men fighting against each other. We have to be together and go conquer them. They put that together before they got to America. They put that together at the Berlin Conference. They said, listen, all this fighting in front of these other people got to stop. We are white. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. And they went to Africa and they surrounded Africa and they invaded Africa from all sides. And then you took what you took up to Europe and then you traded amongst each other the stuff you pillaged from the Africans. It's a fact. So by the time they came to America, they already knew the rules. Because nobody gonna respect you when you hate your own. And you are what people are. They said, well, bro, race, because that's what you see. And your eyes is the most powerful thing. Your eyes is powerful. So no matter what you call yourself, when they look at you, what are you when they look at you? They knew what they was doing. What are you when they look at you? Before you open up your mouth, if you stand next to me and you're a Jamaican and you this and that, especially if I'm a dark black American and you're a Jamaican, nobody know who we are till we talk. You don't know who I am till you say, hey, brother, who is you? I'm like, well, man, where I talk? Then you're like, oh, where you from? Man, me I'm from Jamaica, man, me I'm from Trinidad, you know. Where y'all talk about, boy? You don't know where I'm from. I used to hang with some brothers from Trinidad. And sometimes white Americans ask them, where you from? And they would say, Nigeria. And they believed them because you can't tell where they from unless they tell you. I learned that from the Trinidadians. They would always say they was from Nigeria. They look just like Nigeria. How you know? They say, no, I'm from Nigeria. I'm from Africa. They say, I say, why you tell them people you're from Africa? They say, man, they don't need to know. They don't need to know we from Trinidad. We black. That's all they need to know. So these people got together. This is the Berlin Conference. See them shaking hands, so they say, okay, we got to stop fighting amongst each other as white people. We got to stop being German, Italian, British. We got to be white. This is when they made that decision. This is a fact. This is when white men realize we got to be white. And they black. We can't be French and all this no more. They got all these natural resources. It's going to take all of us to get it. Because it's a lot of them, like the Matabele. That's why they had to go and make weapons. They got together and worked together and make weapons. They couldn't beat the Africans unless they had a machine gun. Because with a musket, by the time they trying to reload it, the African would overpower. So they got together and say, let's carve it up. Yeah, the Last Kingdom show you all of that. Show you how they got together. 100% correct. The Last Kingdom show you the whole process on how they got together before they start coming in. And right in the Last Kingdom, you can hear them talking about the Spanish found land. In the Last Kingdom, and towards some of the last episodes, you can hear the people in England say the Spanish found land. So it show you right when the Spanish was going down to Africa and getting slaves, and when the Spanish had went over to the Caribbean and then to South and Central America. It also show you when when they sold him into slavery, and it was all white men rowing the boat. That was the beginning of slavery, but it was whites. And they would make them row the boat until they pretty much almost was unalived and just get to an island and throw them out, or just throw them to the sharks and make another man start rowing. Slavery amongst their own people. Facts. Because if they captured you, you wasn't their people. You was a different type of white. Well, they realized we don't got to enslave each other. We can enslave them. And let's get together and let's make some better weaponry so that we will be able to fight them. And that's where they developed the Gatling gun. The Gatling gun was made so they would be better prepared to fight. They said, we can't go nowhere divided. We can't. They say, divided, we're not going to go nowhere. There's too many of them. We got to unite. And they start dealing with race. That's where that came from. They started dealing with race. And they was white and you was black. Right? So now all the Africans that come to America, they not on this. See, the blacks that come to America, they supposed to be on this. They not. They on what these people was on before these people woke up. They say you can't be French and German and all that no more. We got to be white. But the blacks is still, and Africa, they all them tribes and all that. And they kind of keep us going with that. You were GD, you were BD, you were Crip, you were Blood, and you let that overrule everything. So you so busy being a Crip and a Blood, fighting, when you look up, the Mexicans then took LA from you. See what I'm saying? Because you wasn't black. But the Mexicans was Hispanic. They was brown. That's what happened in LA. That's how black gangs lost all they foot in. Because the Hispanics say, we brown. But the black gangs said, no, I'm a Crip, I'm a Blood. They wasn't black. So when you see the Moors constantly talk about we not black, because the Moors is the enemy. The Moors marched us into slavery first, way before West Africa. So I don't even know why nobody listening to the Moors. The Moors are the original traders of Africa. And they still traders today. Because the seed never falls far from the tree. That's why every time we try to put something together as black, you ever notice the Moors pop up in front of these white people? No, we not black. No, we not black. You ain't never been black. Moors, you always been rats. You went against Hannibal and you went up to Europe and you joined the whites. And you taught them civilization and brought them up to power, taught them all our secrets. They always brag. We don't want to taught the white man how to have water and how to take showers. Yeah, you sure did, and taught them how to fight us. Then he overthrew you and cut your private parts off and made you a girl. Why the Moors don't tell that part? They made you a eunuch and punked you and then went and conquered the rest of us. Why they don't tell that part? Huh? Why they don't tell that? Why they don't tell that part? The Moors always running their mouth. Why they don't tell when he did this to them and made them girls and made them be servants? They always running their mouth. Tell them to come debate Big Pharaoh. Why don't they talk about everything they did, how they did them? How they turned them into eunuchs, cut their organs off, and made girls out of them, made servants out of them. Every time you watch any of these old movies up in Europe and Rome and stuff, the Moors is running around serving the Pope and stuff as servants. To the point they worked for the man, keeping their own people down. They worked for the Europeans to guard the slaves. See, on the outside, these is Moors mistreating the Africans. That's the Moors. That's what you can't trust the Moors. Can't trust the Moors. You can't trust the Moors scientific. You cannot trust the Moors. Period. And I'll tell any of them to their face. You can't trust them. They always jump up in our business. They ain't black, but they always in black people business. Can't trust them. Can't trust the Moors. The Moors been sellouts. They worked for Leopold that had a worse genocide than Hitler. Yeah, the Moors helped Leopold, which was the worse than Hitler. Worse than Hitler. Facts. They don't want to bring up that. There they go. On the outside. The Moors. They went against Hannibal and went up to Europe. That's why they call them dirty Moors. Yeah, that's why they got their name, Dirty Moors. They wasn't never positive. They've always been negative and still negative today. Every time we trying to do something, they come with that weirdo philosophy and negative hate. Every time. They don't never ride with the people. They always got some weird off-brand philosophy to go against the grain. with their stupid teachers that don't know what the hell they talking about and tell you deaf, black mean deaf, and they don't know what the hell they talk about, and they can give me their biggest teacher, and I'll break them, cry, and run them off the thing, because black is the king of all colors. And you tell them more, Pharaoh said that. If you take a jar right now and you get some paint and you put yellow in there and red and blue and all the colors in there, story, what color is gonna turn? Black. So how black mean deaf when black is the dominance of all colors mixed together? Make it make some sense. Noble Drew Ali didn't know what the hell he was talking about. He ain't know what he was talking about. Come on, man. Noble Drew Ali didn't know shit. I put all the colors in the thing and mix it together. What color you get? Black represents dominance. How black mean deaf when you look out at space at night and it's all black? That mean deaf? When you look at the sky at night, that represents deaf? Your eyeballs represent death. If you got black hair, that represent death. Man, the Moors is some fools. That's why that philosophy didn't go nowhere. That's why Elijah Muhammad passed them. Noble Ali is a nobody. He been dwarfed under Elijah Muhammad and Marcus Garvey. He's nobody. His philosophy failed. It's a philosophy for fools. Facts. That's what it is. He didn't know what the hell he was talking about. Nobody listen to dude. Who gonna listen to him? Nobody in their right mind gonna listen to Noble Drew Ali. Look at him. With the Adolf Hitler mustache. Man, if you don't get the hell out of here. Don't make me get into their whole little crew that was hanging out. Because, you know, him and Elijah and all them was hanging out when they developed them different philosophies. They all come out of one crew. Y'all knew that? They all come out of one crew. With a couple of other people. Farad was around him. Master Farad, yeah. I'm just being nice. I ain't gonna go there. But yeah, Noble Drew Ali, Master Farad, yeah, they was all around each other. That's when Farad went to prison and was scamming and shit. I mean, nobody really, they put up the money. I ain't gonna debate for free, but put up the money, get some fair judges so I could take your money. Get your big more, the one look like James Brown. Because he don't even look like he following Noble Drew Ali's eating plan. He's a bootleg more anyway, bro. Why you so chunky like that? You ain't even following your own shit. They ain't following Noble Drew Ali. They just picking parts to follow. They ain't standing on nothing. Black is dominant. And calling ourselves black was very much necessary because when my mother and them was coming up, the powers that be was brainwashing you that black wasn't no good and being dark wasn't no good. And so they were saying stuff like, get out that sun before you get too black. This when I was a baby coming up. The black people that came from the South. they had started making them think black ain't no good. So black women was putting stuff on their face like your grandmama would have that makeup that she put on her face make her more pinkish. And black people wanted to wear like straw hats, want to stay out the sun. The black men started going to the barbershop, getting all this hair cut off. Get that nappy, nappy hair was looked at as negative. Dark skin was negative. Big lips was negative. Pull your lips in. Yeah, I'm born 1958. Young dudes, you definitely get ate alive because you wasn't even here. So ain't no young dude could debate me because you was a baby when you was born, doing BET. You know what I'm saying? No, when I was born in 1958, being black was negative, nappy hair was negative, and big lips was negative. And my generation, we didn't like it. You understand? So we came out, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. We get the afro. We love our nappy hair. We love our lips. We love our skin. We going out in the sun and get blacker. To turn around the brainwashing they had did to my mother and them. They had my mother and them wearing wigs on their head. And guess who they bought the wigs from? Guess who sold all the wigs in the 50s and the 60s? The Chinese. Ask somebody. When you're in Chicago, you go on 43rd Street, 63rd Street, Rosen, and the wig shop, it was the Asian man in there. The Asian man was the one in there selling your grandmama and them wigs. Ask anybody. The Asian man sold the wigs and the Jewish man sold the clothes and shit. Black people didn't even hardly have no stores. But the Asians made sure you covered up your nappy head. That's anybody tell you. Wig shops everywhere, and it was Asians in there. And when you go get your clothes, it was Jewish men. Thanks for supporting the channel. Y'all support the channel because I'm giving it to you in the raw. And they didn't want you to be black. And then my generation come up, we want to be as black as we could get. You know what I'm saying? That's how I got these dreadlocks. My mom and them talking about comb your nappy head. I remember I went to my mother. I said, Mama, can I get an afro? She said, a natural. We call it a natural. She said, no, because you ain't going to comb it. So years later, when I started growing dreads, she said, what you did with your hair? I said, you never should let me get that afro. You told me I wasn't going to comb it. She said, you a mess. My mother said, if she let me get an afro, I ain't going to comb my hair. She right, ain't she? I sure didn't comb it. And then black people wanted to wear the afro and stuff in the 60s, but then they shut the movement down, and all the sisters went right back, permed their hair right back. Aretha Franklin grew the afro. By the 70s, she went back to a wig. James Brown grew the afro. By the 70s, he went back to the perm. They tried to reverse that blackness all they could, but it was too late. Because the little young blacks like me, we didn't go back. The older ones did. We stayed black. Black is beautiful. We used to say, give me 5 on the black hand side. We used to say, bing, 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 bang, bang, ungawa, black power. And we was black and proud. And our parents did it for a little while, but that wasn't their movement. That's why they did a little while. That was our movement. I went home and told my mother I wanted natural. Her and my dad didn't even know what that was. And then they found, say, no, boy, you can't get that. My daddy wanted to keep taking me to the barbershop. I didn't want to go to the barbershop and get that. I wanted my fro. I wanted to be black. My parents from Alabama, and they had brainwashed them that black wasn't no good. My generation is the black generation. Because my OGs was Black Panthers and pro-black. The Fred Hampton, that was my OGs. We wanted to be like them. We wanted to be like the big boys. You know, you're in the 5th grade, You want to be like the big boys. You want to be like the juniors in high school. You know what I'm saying? And they got afros and army jackets on and combat boots and bell-bottom pants with a big afro pick. You want to be like him. You want to be like him more than your daddy. You don't want to be like your daddy. You want to be like dude, the black one, the strong one. Your daddy, you look at your daddy as strong and stuff like that, but this is some new stuff. And that's when we became black. Wasn't no Moors. The Moors was washed up. Might have been a handful of them in New York. Give me one of these Moors, 50-year-old, 40-year-old Moor, I'll make you cry. You was nobody in the 60s. Never heard of your movement had died. You trying to beat a dead horse. The Moors are never coming back. We black. And we gonna be black. And the Moors say they're not black, but they always pandering to black people. Why they don't just pander to Moors? Why they pseudo-black, pseudo in black people business? You know what I'm saying? Like fake. You're not black, but you all in everything black people do. You had all the black stuff, but you ain't black. Stop going to black stuff and start going to Moorish stuff. Stand on that. If black mean deaf, why you going to black events? You always see the Moors at black events, black parade, black this day, black that day. They there, but they say black mean deaf, but they had all the black stuff. How phony is that? Go to the Moor stuff. You understand? And this way the Africans and everybody made a mistake. They didn't want to be much respect. Y'all support the channel too. Nobody, they didn't want to be black. Nobody want to be black, and that's why we can't win. We not winning because we not black. We not unified. The Asians is unified. The whites is unified. The Hispanics is unified. The brothers in California didn't want to be black. So the Hispanics came in and was Hispanic. And they took LA from them because they was Hispanic. And the brothers was Crips and Bloods. And a divided group can't beat a unified group. No matter what, the Hispanics is Hispanic. These is facts. Don't nobody want none of this smoke. You know what you are when you get in the dungeon, when you get in hard times. And if your ass go to prison, it ain't no more shit or none of that. It's the blacks over there, the whites over there, and the Hispanics over there. That's prison. When you're in the belly of the beast. Facts. I don't give a damn if you're a Muslim, whatever. You got to ride with the blacks. That is a fact. Let us get in the beef with the Aryans and you are Moor and you don't fight with us. Yeah, all right. When we get through with them, we're going to holler at you. Because it ain't none of that in prison. And I ain't been to prison, but I know, and it ain't none of that in the county jail. In the county jail, you might be a vice lord and all that, but that's only when things is cool. When things is messed up, your ass black. And in Chicago at 26 in California, if you get out at night and you black, them Mexicans and them Hispanic gangs, they try to, man, they'll unalive you out there. They ain't unalive you because you know GD. They ain't unalive you because you know BD. They're not unalive you because you know Blackstone or no Four Corner Hustler. They ain't unaliving you for nothing other than being black. You don't got to be in no gang. If they catch a black man out there at night outside the Cook County Jail over there on 26 in California, you'll get hurt. Everybody know it. By the Hispanics. And they only attack you because you black. They do not attack you because you in no gang. Anybody in Chicago will tell you that. If they catch a black person out there, 26 in California at night, you in danger. So that's why when your relatives tell you, and you pay their bill, like if my cousin come and pay my bill, he might pay it at 5 o'clock. He know they probably ain't gonna release me till night. Man, as soon as it get dark, he gonna be parked over there, waiting for me to walk out that building. Because he know that if I walk out that building and try to find the phone to call him, by the time he get there, I get hurt. We don't unite. The reason we don't unite is because you're supposed to already be united. Quasi? If something happened and you got to unite, you're going to lose. That's what I'm trying to say. You're supposed to be united already. You're not supposed to be united based on the fact something happened. Whites is united already. So when something happened, boom. Hispanics are united already. Something happened, boom. Asians are united already. Something happened, boom. We're not united. So when something happened, we trying to, let's get together, let's unite. We're supposed to already be black already. But the black man, he don't want to be black because he don't like rank and file, right? So if he could be all this weird stuff, he can have some position. See, because when you was a Moor, or you is the Nation of Islam, or you was a GDBD, there's rank you can have. But when you mix that all together, that whole ranking system gonna change. Because just because you're a high-ranking GD and I'm a high-ranking Blackstone, when we get together, that rank gotta change. So number 2 might not be number 2 when we get together. As a matter of fact, both number 2s might not be nothing, because one of them number 1s might be number 1 and the other number 2 might be number 2. Or number 1 and number 2 might come from here and the highest dude over here might be a number 3. Well, nobody want to do that. You want to stay in your small group where you can be a number 1. Because if you unite, you ain't going to necessarily be number 1 no more. Because we got more soldiers to pick from. So one reason the black man like these groups, because he could beat somebody in these groups and he won't get lost in the sauce in a big unified group. He want to beat somebody. Yeah, they ride together. We don't have no friends. Yeah, they ride together. They definitely ride together. Much respect. Yeah, y'all support the channel. You know what I'm saying? Support the channel. I'm out here sticking my neck out. You know what I mean? Much love. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I ain't beefing with no brothers over here. I'm trying to let y'all know we got to be black. And this is where the Africans and the Caribbeans made a mistake. So now when Trump and them look at you and say, what are we going to do about them? So we could do whatever to them. The black Americans ain't with them, right? Because the black Americans is 50 million strong. So you out there with your little million strong, 100,000 strong, you Haitian, you got little bitty numbers. You done excluded 50 million. They like, we could run over there. See, what a lot of black people don't know is they watch you. Like anywhere in the world, in America or just in your block or anything, they watch to see who your enemy is. And when they see you fighting against each other, they ready to attack you. Like I said about my sister, the children will watch. And when they see you and your brother don't get along at school, they'll attack y'all. But when they see you unified, they don't bother you. Now, black people in America was just black. If the brothers from the Caribbean would have just came in and just been black, and the black Americans would have just been black, and all the different African brothers just would have been black, they wouldn't have tried you. You would have integrated. You would have mixed together. But now you was a Nigerian. You didn't want me to talk to your woman. You want to sleep with our women. This is what the Africans, They want to come. You will see always Africans sleeping with our women. You don't never see they create no situation where we can date their women and marry their women. That's how you know Africans ain't really no brothers like that. They damn near like invaders. You just want to come sleep with our women and have babies by our women, and it don't go both ways. It's not like a mutual love. Y'all ain't noticed that? Jamaicans too, all of them. They women is not as available as your women is to them. You ain't noticed that? Our women is always available to these blacks that move into our turf. And they women is, And then they try to push their African or Jamaican culture on our women and weaken our culture. Facts. It's not mutual love like that. It's not. Now, I'm not saying all brothers, because I know some brothers, Jamaican brothers married to Black American women, they really love them. And they really respect it. So I'm not saying all, because it's not all. We got some cool brothers from Africa. We got some cool brothers from the Caribbean. Don't get me wrong. I don't like the stereotype. But when you talk in general about Caribbean brothers, African brothers, and Black Americans in general, we all suck. All of us. If you be honest. I'm just not getting on the Black Americans yet, because that's not what the conversation about. But you know we ain't on nothing like we supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? So everybody can get it. So brothers from Africa, whatever, don't get this twisted, because ain't none of us got it together. But in terms of being in America and in terms of immigration, that's what I'm talking about tonight. In terms of immigration, what's finna go down in the next 45 days that I'll be talking about again, and how they putting out this situation saying the Haitians got to be gone in 45 days, the Africans got to be gone in 45 days. All that coming here having babies, they're going to overturn that, right? That's what I'm talking about, how they put themselves in that position, because they never really just was Black and didn't link in with us, and they left themselves out there by themselves. Now you got to understand, from white American point of view and from a military point of view, white America look at it like this. You got all these foundational Black Americans. You got all these Ethiopians came over here, and all these Nigerians, and all these Jamaicans, and all them come. So they looking at it like this. Let's get them out of here before they do unite. Let's get them out of here. Why they separate? That's how they looking at it. Hey, we can get them out of here now. Black Americans ain't really messing with them. They hate on the Black Americans. So the Black Americans going to be glad we get them out of here. And now we can stop them from growing. Because if they get together and have babies, and we white and our birth rate is down, that'll be too many Black babies. This is how they strictly looking at it. Black, white. That's how they looking at it. They not looking at you, Nigeria. They not looking at you, Jamaica. They looking at you in terms of, I don't really mess with people that come. Stop trying to change my subject, bro. You ain't that important. They not looking at it. They looking at it in terms of Black babies, Black birth rate. That's how they looking at it. And there's a fear there. So they trying to make sure we don't start breeding and become friends. I'm telling you what I'm telling you. They're like, we just brought y'all here to work. We didn't bring y'all here. They don't want no Black Americans and Haitians to start getting married. They don't want no Black Americans and Jamaicans. And they don't mind the Blacks coming here sleeping with our women. They do not want Black American men sleeping with them women. Because you got to understand, you ain't no threat. It's just a handful of Jamaicans. But us, it's 25 million Black American men. They don't want us breeding with them other blacks. They don't care where they breed because you ain't got no numbers. You can't do no damage. Us sexually could do a lot of damage. So they got to stop that. I'm telling you, they do not want us, black men, Black American men, sleeping with black women, having babies, creating foundational wealth, getting homes, having families, and other black women around the world see her sister came over here and married a Black American man, got a good job in the NBA or something. That's why they always stir the basketball players towards the white women, because that's the only ones at the colleges. They'd have a fit if them black athletes, rich like that, was marrying African women or Caribbean women or something. Oh, man. Man, see, they trying to cut that off now. And the black brothers and sisters from the Caribbean and Africa, they bought into it. Because it was white America that put that out there for them not to mess with it, to put that out there. Oh, they gangs and stuff. They got that from white America. They suckers. But white America, no. Man, they got vast black neighborhoods. Like Chicago ain't gangs. Chicago blacks ain't gangs. Gangs is a small number. The murder rate in Chicago down longer than it's been for 20 years or so. Blacks in Chicago not gang members. That's propaganda. You think we got all these homes and all these cars and property with gangs? You think we got radio stations and all that? And all these kids going to school from gangs? Gangs ain't gonna send our kids to school. Who you think driving the buses, the trains, on the police department, on the fire department? You don't think we doing that? Why they don't show the black firemen? Why they don't show the black nurses and doctors? Black people here got jobs. What are you talking about? You think black people could be in Chicago with no jobs, just gangbanging? That's propaganda. So they push that to the Africans. Tell the Africans, no, don't mix with them. And instead of the Africans coming out, and then the Africans know better. So they just bogus. They just bought it. Because it ain't no way a whole bunch of Africans in the medical field. So how you still got that stereotype when you up in the medical field with all them black women? How? That's how you know the Africans is just tribal, because there's no way you can come from Africa and don't experience successful black people. It's impossible. So if you keeping on that stereotype, that's because you just want to push some tribalism. There's no way Africans come in and don't know that black Americans get money. Black Americans is famous comedians, famous rappers, famous singers, got all type of businesses, doing all type of corporate stuff, all working in corporate America. There's no way you can come from Africa and not know that. There's no way you can come from Africa and think that black Americans is gang members. Come on. And live up here and don't hear no shooting. Y'all hear any shooting in ambulances in Chicago? How many times you heard a bunch of ambulances? I go live every day. Y'all be hearing ambulances? Nobody. I don't hear nobody getting shot, okay? I never came in here beat up. I never came in here from getting robbed, and I be outside. I've been outside today. You know what people do in Chicago? Going to work. Going to work. Going to the restaurants. Going to eat. So you think we got all these McDonald's and all these Burger Kings and all these restaurants and all these Italian restaurants, Greek restaurants, soul food, all because people just gangbanging? Who eating at the restaurant? If we gangbanging? Gangbanging, pay the cable bill, pay the cell phone bill, pay the car insurance, pay the car note, buy gas for the car. Gangbanging do that. So all these black people got all these cars from gang because they're gangs. See the brainwashing? No. That was put out there by the system to make sure we don't breed and to make sure we don't become black. They didn't want a bigger group of black people. You ever notice we the only ones ain't black? That ain't a color? You ever notice white people just white? You ever notice they not Irish, Italian, all that? They just white. We the ones, you come here, don't no white person come here and be nothing but white. But blacks come here and you Trinidadian. You ain't gonna see no whites here. Man, I could take you down Chicago. When I drove Uber, I go down Chicago, pull up at a club full of white people. 2 white people get in my car. They Russians. But they not Russians in that club. They white. They at the white club with the white dudes and the white women. They not Russians. They white. And they take all the privilege and benefit from being white. We the only ones. Brothers, come here and don't be black. And it's like, I ain't really happy about it because a lot of my friends finna get deported. So that's why I'm talking about this, because I'm kind of pissed. Because I got some cool black friends. I got some cool Ghanaian friends, Senegalese, Nigerian, Ethiopian. You know, I really be around a lot of different people. And they real upset right now. And it's just like, I'm kind of pissed. You know, I'm pissed over it. So that's why I'm talking about this. Because I was just talking to a couple of my brethren the last couple of days. I said, man, y'all should have been black. You know what I'm saying? My brother from Senegal, he like, man, we ain't know. Now looking back, I see what you've been saying, Pharaoh. That's what he told me. He said, man, I couldn't see what you were saying because I've been telling them that. I'm like, y'all need to just be black. Y'all need to stop being all that shit. Because for the Africans, that's why Africa ain't shit. It ain't just be like that over here. Look at the Africans. They ain't never just be Africans. But the whites come in there as whites, the Asians come in there Asians and take everything. They, all this different stuff. 3,000 tribes. How they gonna win like that? So dude say, well, you know, we don't want to identify as black. I said, well, why you don't identify as African though? They ain't African. They don't identify. No unifying identity. I said, man, y'all ain't gonna never win, man, because some people coming, they unified. Them people that's coming is unified. You know what I'm saying? That's one reason I got disenchanted with Rasta. Because Rasta was talking when I'm talking, but when you got around Rasta, they wasn't that. I tell you that story all the time. I was with some of my Trinidadian and Rasta brethren. Let's go to the reggae club. I go to the reggae club. They stand over here. I see the Jamaican Rasta brethren. I go to them. They say, what you doing with these Trinis? This one I was a shorty though in it. I ain't number like young 20, 21, 22. So right then, I made it through that. But right then I should have caught it. But I was too young. But I'm thinking, what? So all that Africa for the Africans and we are Africans, that's not real? like y'all Trinidadians and Jamaicans. Oh, wow. So I felt betrayed because I felt like they wanted me to give up being a Black American and be an African, but they won't give up being a Jamaican and a Trinidadian. So so I'm the only one got to give up my identity and pretend we all Africans and y'all don't got to do it. That was my first time seeing, oh, okay, this is all bull. This not real. That's why I got respect for Haile Selassie and the ideology, but I don't really I don't got respect for Rasta. Even though I'm a Rasta, I don't got respect for the Rasta movement because it's phony. Because when you get to Jamaica, they Bobo or 12 tribe. No unity, even to the smallest denominator ain't no unity. It's just fake on the records. It's just like fake talking on the record, something that's not like even real. They a bunch of different stuff. This one 12 tribe, this one Bobo, this one Orthodox, this one Naya Bingi. What? What? This one Trini, this one this one that, this one this. Now imagine I'm a Black American. I'm finding about this, all these brothers from the Caribbean. You come to me with this. How you think I'm looking at Caribbean rosters as a Black American with bigger numbers than you? And you don't even want to unify with your smaller numbers, and you want me to like be different than all these Black Americans to side with you, with your division? Pass. I'll just be a Black. No, I can't mess with y'all. No, I'm fine. I'm FBA. I can't mess with y'all. I'm not turning on. I'm building my army now. If y'all don't want to build y'all army, that's on y'all. But y'all definitely ain't representing his imperial majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie the first Jah Rastafari. Y'all don't represent that. Ain't no way you represent that. Ain't no way. Ain't no way you represent his majesty with that foolishness. Tell that to somebody else. His majesty is totally disappointed in you. Totally. You don't come on. And then the sad thing about it with the men, we got our ladies out there all divided because they're going to follow us. So we some Black goofies, our women and children all separated, and we going against a unified conglomerate. And some jobs here, when you go in there and you Black, they put a little mark on the application for your job to let them know don't hire you. They hiring their own. You go downtown Chicago and you get down there at 8:45 and you see the trains coming from the suburbs, you just see a sea of white people coming downtown Chicago, get the money and go. And they all working together, they smiling and grinning. They got a conglomerate to make money. They going back getting nice homes, nice neighborhoods for white people. They white. They ain't doing none of that division. They white. They go to the Bears game, they go to the Cubs game, they go everything, and they white. They not Irish, they not Italian, nothing. They Cubs. Everybody got on Cubs. Ain't nobody got on nothing. When you go to the Black stuff, dude got on his African shit. The Jamaican got on his Jamaican flag. You ain't gonna see no white people walk around here with no Italian on or nothing. The only time in America you're gonna see white people identify as something is on St. Patrick's Day. You're gonna see the one that's got some Irish bloodline do that. Other than that, you do not see white Americans be nothing but Americans. They don't honor none of that. They honor a white American. That's it. If you are Irish and you do St. Patrick's Day, you better not keep doing that shit after St. Patrick's Day. You better turn back white American. They'll let you have St. Patrick's Day because they all come out and drink. Everybody have a good fun time, good. Especially in Chicago because the Irish had a lot to do with the police here and the mayor and running the government. But like once St. Patrick's Day over, your ass got to turn back white. You cannot be no Irishman. Hell no. No. And the white Jewish people, they can wear their little stuff at work. They can't be Jewish at work. Ask somebody. They got to be white. Sometimes it's like they got holy days, they wear their little stuff. But when they come to work, anybody could tell you, Pharaoh ain't lying. I worked in offices. I started working for myself later. Can we? Why you asking me? Why you don't ask white people? Like, yeah, I don't want to hear that. That's like, okay, let me delete you. I don't do make believe here. Person asks me, can we just be humans? Like I got some control of that. See what I'm saying? That type of foolishness, I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Why you coming over here asking me, can we not, you know what I'm saying? Don't come asking me nothing like that, because it is what it is. You want to talk about what we can be, I'm talking about what we are. You talking about my conversation about what we are. Why would I let somebody come a conversation like Lucy in the sky with diamonds and what it should be? I'm talking about what it is. So if you don't like me talking about how it is now, you're on the wrong thing, because this is how it is. That make-believe stuff is not like it was. That's make-believe. I'm talking about how it is. It's not a conversation about how it should be. How it should be conversation is ridiculous. And if I'm going to talk about how it should be, I'm going to talk about black people uniting. That's how it should be for us. Because it's going to be like it. I can't speak for Hispanics. I can't speak for whites. So why would you ask me about how whites should act? I can't speak for them. I can't speak for them. I can speak what I want black people to do based on the situation we got now. And these questions you ask me, you're not going to go ask them. Hold on. Hold on a minute. Hold on. I got to go over here and kick and throw out a troll, because I ain't really in the mood for no bozo stuff right now. Give me a minute. You got to be privileged to come over here and watch me. You know what I'm saying? It's a privilege for me to take my time. I'm not doing no bozo stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if you like hell bent on some bozo stuff, you're on the wrong, you're on the wrong page. I just ain't in the mood for the bozo. I gotta wait. I gotta wait forever for this authorization to go. It's crazy. I'll come back to it. Not like good. Not like good. So that's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? We have to really look at the situation seriously, and these people are going to just definitely get thrown out the country. They ain't got a chance. They're going to get thrown out the country. Oh yeah, I don't even got that app. I don't even got that app information for that app. Let me have it sent to my phone. As far as anybody don't like what I'm saying, you're supposed to log off. You know what I'm saying? If you really don't, if you really don't understand what's going on, you have to really log off. You know what I'm saying? If you don't understand what's going on, this just ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what's going on, it's not for you. It's only for intelligent, highly intelligent people. You know what I'm saying? Like that. This is not for people that's not interested in the conversation. It's only for people that's interested in the conversation. So we really gotta get ready for what's gonna be happening in the next 2, 3 months. A lot of people are gonna be basically kicked out the country, uprooted. That's why they bought Homan back. They bought Homan back because it's gonna get serious. They let him take a little break. He had certain things he had to deal with. But they didn't bring him back for nothing. You know what I'm saying? They didn't bring him back for nothing. It's going to be this, man, look, February, March, April, then through the summer. You understand? That's why they just brought him back this week. Oh, it's finna, because he's got to clean up because the other guy didn't know what he was doing. He's making too many mistakes, might have caused some lawsuits. A couple people got hurt up there in Minneapolis. So they had to bring somebody back to get more control. The other guy didn't know what he was doing. He didn't handle that right. It's not supposed to be like no Germany stuff. It's just supposed to clean the country out. That's it. And he was out there, didn't have control. All them ICE agents are going to be reevaluated. A lot of them going to be sent home Few might even go to prison. Yeah, a few ICE agents might go to prison because they just made the situation worse. They just here to clean the country up. That's it. That's what they was here for. And they didn't really work to clean the country up. You understand? And it's just sad to see so many brothers and sisters from the Caribbean and Africa being sent home. But they, and they just they ain't got no allies, you know? Yeah, I was talking to my brethren. I got a couple of brethren from, outside the country. And I told them, I said, you don't got no allies. I said, not only do you got no allies, a lot of Foundation Black Americans don't like you. So the brother asked me, he said, well, why? I said, bro, you came into a situation with some people that's struggling, fighting for equality in the system. And you came in and just added another enemy. We already had problems. And you came in, black immigrants came in and like undercut us, start taking movie roles for cheaper, hurt our actors, hurt our jobs, start doing everything for cheaper, start getting all on social media talking crazy. No, he ain't no Klan member. What do a Klan member look like? A Klan member don't look like nothing. That man been working in the government for a long time. He ain't no Klan member. Not that I know of. I never seen him do nothing. He's a professional from what I've seen. I've never seen him say nothing or do nothing racist. In America, they want to say it's racist for throwing out illegals. Go your ass to Germany and don't have your papers. Go your ass to Africa and don't have your papers. They're going to throw you out if they don't like you up. Don't update your visa in Africa. Go to Ghana and don't update your visas and stuff. They're going to throw you out. Show me a country where they don't throw you out if you don't update your papers to visit. Why are they trying to make it like it's a white racist stuff? As a matter of fact, you get a bigger break in America than other places. Other places, man, you better get the hell out. If you don't update your paperwork, they throwing you out. He not a right winger. Dude's not a right winger. He's not a right winger. He works for the government. He works for whoever's the president. He's not a right winger. Now, when he's doing his job, he did the same job for Obama. Obama's a Democrat. His job has nothing to do with Democrat or Republican. That's false information. That man worked under about 8 presidents. They wasn't Republican. Man, listen. Good thing I'm here to give you all the facts. This man worked under about 8 different presidents. They was not Republicans. When you are working at the border or ICE or something like that, you don't change politically. Only the senators and congressmen and president. But if you got some type of job, that's non-political. That's a government job. Like my mother worked for the Selective Service. They don't go with the party when you work for the Treasury Department or you work with Homeland Security or you work with the FBI or something. You don't flip with the president. If I work for the FBI and I'm a Democrat, that got nothing to do with the job. Okay? I don't switch just because the commander-in-chief switch. I'm just still the FBI director. Now, Trump is the first president you've seen try to get rid of everybody from the last president. They don't do no nut stuff like that. Trump did some kind of nut stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Obama had the country clean. Biden, they came all in under Biden, and I got a whole ideology behind that. But yeah, when you got a federal job, you're not Democrat or Republican. Yeah, government jobs are supposed to be nonpartisan. Trump the one trying to change that. Yeah, a government job is yes, 100%. Thanks for telling them that. Yeah, just the government job you're supposed to be nonpartisan, 100%. Trump is the one doing weird stuff and stacking the Supreme Court, and he's the one kind of doing some Adolf Hitler type stuff to the country, which is making the young people come up and don't really know America. He's really doing a damage as far as people understanding how America works. They're gonna think that's how America works. So some more people gonna get in there and have to straighten it back out so the young people know, like, no, that's that's not how it works. But in all fairness, I can't blame Trump because it's the Democrats' fault because the Democrats let the shit go too far this way. Because at what point do the government push gay stuff and all that to the kids in school and all that? So all of this is the Democrats' fault. If you don't have the Democrats going too far, you don't have no crazy Trump. The Democrats messed up. Even Obama with all that gay stuff, that's not political, bruh. Being gay is not political. It's not for children. And being gay is not political because don't nobody know who you sleep with. So how you going to politicize who you sleep with when you sleep in private? Yeah, they do teach them to stay away from blacks. Their parents teach them that too. And that's their downfall because you stay away from blacks. And so now you isolated with the government and can't nobody save you. And then blacks know that you stay away from them. So blacks can't wait for them to kick you out. And you made a mistake by doing that in front of people that don't like you. And this is where black immigrants, you come somewhere with some people that don't like you. There's some other people there. And you try not to like them people in front of these other people that don't like you. And this is where Africans and Caribbeans made a huge mistake. And that's what me and my friend was talking about. He said they made a big, big, big mistake because this is their first horrible experience with white America. I said, yeah, they're going to throw you out. Because it's a lot of brothers distraught because they got to leave. And they got homes, their family. They don't know what's going to happen to their children. I'm like, your children going to have to get out too. You, your wife, and children, they're throwing you out. And if you don't leave, they're going to grab you and lock you up. I had to tell them the truth. You out of here. That's why I'm kind of distraught over it too, because like these is good friends and stuff, and it's like caught them. You know what I'm saying? Because it caught everybody by surprise. We never had a Donald Trump in there. But black immigrants made a horrible mistake letting white Americans see they didn't like black people. Once they see that you didn't like black Americans, you was done anyway. That's the stupidest strategy ever. To come from be from Nigeria, call us a kata and all that in front of white people. What make you think they're gonna like you? They're gonna look at you like, ugh, what a bunch of traitors. They don't even like their own people. I don't think people I think people underestimate white Americans. I don't think you understand white Americans are people. And when people see you hate your own color, everybody's gonna think you're a lunatic. Nobody's gonna like you if you're in Africa and you don't like black Americans because they can't imagine hating their own race. So they're looking at you like that and they hate their own people the same color as them. You look crazy to them. The only time they beef is if they've got a soccer match or something against France or something. Other than that, they don't do that. They don't walk around here in America trying to see what kind of white person you is. They don't do that. Not only that, they all try to talk exactly the same. White people don't come here and try to talk like they from France. They don't come here and try to talk like they're from Germany. They come here and try to talk like the other whites. You come all the way here from Africa trying to have the deepest African accent you can have, the deepest Caribbean accent you can have, going out your way to show the whole world, I'm by myself. I'm not with this 50 million black people. I'm just a stupid Haitian here by myself. They say, oh yeah, kick him out. He don't got no backup. It's military. You let these people know you ain't got no backup. And don't nobody like somebody that don't like their own. I'm telling you. Nobody likes you if they see you don't like your own. They listen, if I'm an African and I come here and white Americans see me mistreating black Americans, you think they're gonna trust me? They're not gonna trust me. They're gonna be like, he don't like his own. We can't trust them. Who gonna trust you? Black immigrants are not trustworthy in the eyes of white Americans. You snakes, rats, and traitors to your own race. That's how they look at it. They look at you as traitors. Period. They'll never trust you. And you let them know you ain't got no backup. You come here, the black Americans ain't backing us up because we some haters. I say, oh, that's good to know. Get out. Yeah, they try to lose they absolutely lose their accent. They doing unity. They try to they turn whiter every year. They turn white American. Every year they turn white American. Them white women come here from France, they try to meet a white American man to be their boyfriend or their husband and have a baby. That's a fact. They trying to breed in. They come to the parties, they watch the other white Americans and they emulate them. They turn white because they come here and then they see blacks and they see Hispanics and they see Asians and they say, oh, that's how that go over here. Because that's how it go over here. How the hell you coming from Africa and you don't want to, and you not black? Oh, man. Watch. They got how many days? Watch it so many days if they don't leave. And the Haitians talking all that talk, and the Haitians did all that stuff, right? All that fighting against ICE early. Remember, see how they left the Haitians alone? They don't know nothing about white America. They don't know. Man, when they come back for them Haitians, they coming strictly, they gonna focus on these other people, get that out the way. And when they come for the Haitians, it's gonna be ugly. Remember them Haitians got to tripping up there in New York and wanted to fight ICE and all that. They said, okay, leave them alone. Okay, all right, okay. I don't know if you pay attention. They got a whole bunch of new ICE trucks, a whole bunch of new Border Patrol trucks, military vehicles, brand new, right off the trains. They went and built up a whole new force. See, they don't know how Americans is. When they brought him back, that means they got a whole new army behind them, that they got a whole bunch of brand new soldiers and brand new tech people. And when they come this time, they coming hard as hell. They coming hard. Oh yeah, they coming hard on them Haitians and them Africans. I'm telling you, get ready. It's gonna be a bunch of crying and weeping. They coming. I mean, they coming hard. Anybody know? If you got dreadlocks and shit, you better keep your ID on you. Man, listen, if you got dreadlocks or any type of way where you look like you could be Caribbean or African, you better have your ID on you. You better have your birth certificate and your ID on you. Don't. And see what happens. I got mine because they see this hair, they come, they gonna pull up on me, thinking, try to find out who I am. I'm like, no, I ain't. I'm an American citizen right off the bat. I'm telling you. Now the Somalians will be gone before what I'm talking about. I'm talking about after the Somalians. The Somalians gonna be gone in the next couple of weeks. I'm talking about this big move that's gonna happen probably around the middle of February, early March. Now Somalians, they gonna get them out of here in the next couple of weeks. Brooklyn, yeah, because up in Brooklyn, remember they started fighting them. Yeah, I seen Don Lemon was released. Yeah, Brooklyn and Miami. Yeah, oh yeah, especially Brooklyn, where they got out there to try to fight. See, they don't know nothing about this European here, this way this works. They went up there to Brooklyn. The Haitians was mobbed up. They fought them right, and then they just left them alone. You know what that mean when they just left them alone? That meant they went back and did reconnaissance. They got everybody picture out there. They got everybody location out there. They know where every one of them live. They got every license plate out there and everything. They say, okay, you bunched up. We gonna grab you one by one. We ain't gonna come back in bunches. They ain't gonna come at them as bunches. They gonna go for them when they at home sleep. Bam, door kicked in. Bam, door kicked in. Bam. Everybody was out there. It's probably be some protests. I know we tell the Foundation of Black Americans, don't protest. Stay out of it. So we'll be on live with people like me telling Black Americans, stay out of it. We see a Black American out there, we're gonna call you out. Because why is you protest for some people that don't give a damn about you? Black immigrants, they not allies. They're not allies. Black people don't look at you as allies. We don't know you. We don't get along with you. You're not very nice to us. Hey, a lot of black Americans going to be cheering, unfortunately. A lot of black Americans are going to be cheering, especially for Nigerians to be taken out of here. Because Nigerians is with the Akata. They made a bad mistake. Nigerians, once they started calling us Akata, that was a bad mistake. It'll take 20 years for that go away. Black Americans will not like Nigerians. I talked to my Nigerian friend about it. He said a lot of them that ain't got nothing to do with that is suffering. He said he can't hardly go on social media. Now you just making up shit. White Americans know black Americans and Africans ain't got no type of unity. Why you just making up stuff? People can look, you know it. So what make you say a lot of people? You saying a lot of people when you know better. It's all phony. White Americans know that Africans don't like black Americans. Why is you over here phony? They know. They do. They know. You think they don't know? They watch all these live streams and all of that. Let me tell you something. You know where the white American government and white people is getting information about the relationship between black Americans and Africans? From FBA, from Tariq Nasheed and FBA. I don't know what make you think they not watching that. They know. Y'all, I don't know what make y'all think that they just in a vacuum and they ain't watching the real world. Everybody know that FBA and Africans don't get along. Who don't know that? Y'all really but think that ICE and all them ain't watching FBA and what we say and don't know we don't care? Who believe that? FBA is big as light right now. And Tariq Nasheed is bigger than life right now. Because you got to understand, they not like white folks. They people. I got a lot of white people watch me, but support me. They just don't come into the chat. You understand? Because, yeah, you got in the group, you got that, but people is individuals. You know what I'm saying? People is individuals. But a lot of people watch everything. Like me, I watch everything. I don't just watch black stuff. Tucker Carlson definitely liked the FBA. White Americans love FBA. Yeah, a lot of white Americans really like FBA. They just trying to figure out reparations. And they coming around to that too, now that they realize the money goes into the whole country. But yeah, white Americans that love America are going to love you for saying you're an American and you're a foundational black American. To them, that's pro-American. To them. Also, white people know history, so they know it's true. White people know history. They know how long you've been here. They know everything you did. They know every invention you made. They know black people been here. I, you know, Stop acting like white people is stupid. White people are not stupid. They know you fought in the Revolutionary War. That's a part of history. White Americans know that blacks fought in the Revolutionary War. White Americans know that blacks fought in the Civil War. They know that. They know history. Let's not play them like they don't know nothing. They know stuff. You know what I'm saying? See, that's that what people don't understand. It's a big country. It's a lot of people that's scholars out here. And there's people that go listen to scholars talk about history and all that. It's white people out here know more black history than some of us. And that's a fact. That's an absolute fact. So I mean, it's not cut and dry like you think like that. It's not cut and dry like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not cut and dry like that. Some people take the racism a little bit too far and make America like more racist than it really is. It's not like everybody's not racist like that. Like a lot, every black person don't dislike white people and all of that. It's not like that. It's people out here that know the history. You know what I'm saying? It's white people that know exactly what this is. They can tell you everything about them. Okay? It's white people that know that some of the best fighters fought with Patton, the original Panthers, the 761st Tank Battalion. They know who that is. They know all of that. Now, you know what I'm saying? They know all of that. They know all of that. We not we're not strangers to white America. You understand? They know all of that. They know the history. We're not strangers to them. They don't look at us like Africans or people from they look at us as Americans. Okay? And they don't look at us like people be telling y'all. That's why you got to get outside and hang with some different people so you can get some different point of views. Okay? Our contribution to the country, it can't be undenied. They ain't looking at us. They ain't looking at us like they looking at people that wasn't here, that ain't got no blood in the soil. We got blood in the soil. You understand? We contributed. We are a very intricate part of the USA. Our influence helped design cars, helped mold music, clothing, sports, politics, fought in every war. They know other blacks can't and around this world can't go to war with us. We war ready. Ain't no blacks in Africa can go to war with foundational black Americans. They'll get decimated. We ain't like what people think. Like we ain't really the ones to really play with like that. We are the most serious black people on the planet. So they try to portray our little youth to be rapping like that's us. No, that ain't us. That's just a small group of us. So they be taking the drill music, kind of stereotype us based off of that. Nah. They fool even some black people believe that. We gotta do better, man. That's not we. That's just a handful of dudes. That's not we. The gang members in Chicago, the black gang members in Chicago, is no match for the black citizens in Chicago. Facts. They'll get decimated. By the nonviolent ones, like for the working blacks and stuff, all the firemen and police officers black like that, regular blacks. Listen, the black gangs is no match for the community. Trust me what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, not in LA or nowhere. That's a false that the black gangs do not run over black folks. That's all false. Most of their stuff is just between them. They do not cross the line and mess with regular people. No, they don't realize that. They don't realize how big the population is nowhere, bro. And you got to understand something about the black gangs. They going to do what grandma still tell them. They still going to do what grandma and mama and daddy tell them. That's a fact. They not coming in the neighborhood going too far. Hell no. When they be in the neighborhood, they be chilling, really. They just be chilling. Boy, listen. Come on, man, look at me. Do I look like gang members could really start causing me some type of problem? Come on, man. You know how many black police officers live in Chicago? You know how many black men served and been to Iraq, Afghan? Man, listen. The gang members is not against the community. They just young and don't know how to act with other young people. That's it. They don't have no training how to conflict resolution between themselves. They not just out in the hood, just hell no. No. Because it's not a cut line. And with the civilians, there's a whole lot of ex-gang members. There's ex-gang members that turned their life around. They on the side of the civilians. And they, come on. They not nothing to play with like that. Larry Hoover's relatives ain't gang banging no more. You can't go over on that block playing with Hoover's sons and them. Bruh. And little nephews, bruh. It's more civilians than it is gang members. And the gang members respect the civilians. They not out of control like they try to make you think. They not that. They not outside talking crazy to black citizens. They doing little carjackers, little sneaky stuff, but they just ain't out talking crazy like that. We got a lot of cops in Chicago, but the gang members don't play with the citizens. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The gang members, their uncle is a citizen. Their granddaddy's a citizen. Some of them, their brothers is a citizen. Dude gangbanger, but his brother's not. His brother played football. You understand? There's not like they aliens just out there. They have to keep a certain order. They can't just wild out like that. Anybody tell you that? They can't get in Chicago in these neighborhoods and wild out on their own black people. That should go bad. They don't do that. And the average, a lot of blocks on Chicago, it might be 3, 4, 5 black police live on the block. They don't be in the hood wilding. I raised my youngest daughter in O Block and my stepchildren. No. They come knock on my door. Jaru, better come get your car. The police out here towing. They regular citizens. They just have their gang moments. When you live in O Block with them, they just regular citizens. They see you every day. They not notorious gang members. That's Miss Janet's son. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You seen him when he was a little boy. You seen him when he first went to jail. But he ain't really went to jail for really doing nothing crazy right there. He was out somewhere else doing something crazy. He can't be crazy right where he live at. Think about it. If you a gang member and all the neighbors there, you going to be crazy right there? Bruh, you know how that's going to go for you? You got to be crazy somewhere where you could disappear. You can't be crazy where you got to come right back outside. Bruh. They give the wrong impression of the gangs. They not just like that. Not like that. Really, it's more the criminals is a problem than the gangs. It's more the carjackers and stuff. They don't really represent gangs. He do just a carjacker. They don't represent the gang. You see what I'm saying? So like a dude a BD, but he go be carjacking. He ain't carjacking because he a BD. He carjacking because he just a goofy carjacker. He just happened to be a BD, but he don't represent the BD. And families where everybody come up thugging, they still got respect in the hood. They look, they can't do that on the block. You can't do that on the block. Nowhere in Black America. Unless the whole block just fell down. And it's a low-life block, which is rare. All they crimes is from out in the world doing little stuff like that. You know, when the rappers, I had the rappers and they do their music and then they go to the crib and they go on the porch and play their shit and all the little gang members come on their porch and listen to it. It's just a neighborhood. They not no threat. They not no threat on the block like that. They ain't even no threat on the next block or the next block. It don't go like that. They actually get into it with somebody. It's not like just wilding. No, they actually get into it with somebody. Somebody pushed down somebody's sister or something like that. Broke in somebody's car, broke in somebody's house and stole his uh his rap equipment. It be real little stuff. It just don't be like, oh, I'm outside, I'm gang, I'm wilding. Everybody on the block gotta be scared. Bro, listen, look at me. You think you can be outside somewhere I live, just out there, think you super gang member terrorizing and stuff and mess with my PTSD? Who believe that? Come on, man. Yeah, a lot. Listen, a lot of gangbangers can't fight. Get beat up all the time. Listen, man. Gang members be getting beat up. They be going to the county jail getting beat up. Okay, they not like that. They just little people that. A lot of times they people that didn't pay attention in school, kind of got behind, kind of got slow. When it comes to educationally, and now they kind of stuck in the world where they ain't got no skills and stuff like that, and they drinking and they using substances and they doing stupid stuff. That's basically what it is. But they try to do stupid stuff to people that don't know them out in the world, try to catch somebody slipping. They can't do nothing stupid right there in the nest where they live at. That's gonna go bad. Cause a dude that's a bus driver go come out there and give you the business. Dude don't care about you being no gang member. He a bus driver. He could fight. And if you out there talking crazy to his daughter or whatever. So y'all believe that when our daughters and kids go to school in the hood, y'all believe gang members talk crazy to our children? Because I was in O Block and my children went to school back and forth all the time. Y'all believe people was talking crazy to the twins, to my stepson, to my son, and to my younger daughter? Y'all really believe? I believe the gangs was down there talking crazy? No, they just be in the hood chilling, eating flaming hots, trying to sell their little greens and stuff. They just be living. They don't be this false image that they just walk around gang member trouble. No, that's not how they function. They not just walking around trouble. No, it don't go like that. They just be chilling. They definitely ain't wilding where they live at, and they definitely ain't playing with their mama. So if they live here and their mama live here, they definitely ain't playing where they mama. Yeah, black mamas don't give a damn because you in no gang. You still Marvin. You outside, they call you Skeety Row. What up, Roro? But you get out there clowning, your mama open the door. Marvin, get in here. Oh man, my old G, man, let me go. You know what I'm saying? All that Skeety Row go ahead, go down to Dre. Y'all don't think them mamas still stand on business? They say, well, the mama don't know what you out there doing. Like me, my mama didn't know what I was doing. Once I left, I go into the park, I'm shooting dice. My mama ain't raised no dice shooter. She ain't raised no stew gambling. She ain't got nothing to do with me doing that. I'm sneaking doing that. My mom at work. My mom in the house. She don't know I'm out there. So when you see me out there, you like, what is mama gonna do? My mama don't even know I'm out here. If my mama walk over to the park, I'm gonna say, hey, hide the dice, hide the dice. I'm, hey mama. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be out there still shooting dice and smoking and all that when mama, you know, come on, man. Or daddy. Boy, he ain't doing that. We doing that on the back end. And then we really ain't causing problems where we live at because we don't want to come outside every day and it's a problem right there. Most of the problem is due from that neighborhood, most is due from this neighborhood. Not problems right in the neighborhood. Go watch videos of Parkway when they go in the back. Everybody in there playing. They're not back there in Parkway fighting like that. They all live there. Everybody know you cool. You live there. Now, if you come over there and you don't live there, they're like, who is that? That might be a problem unless you're going to see somebody that can verify you. It's not like the way they portray it. You know what I'm saying? But to end this, you know, black immigrants made a mistake. They should have been black. They made a mistake by not locking in because, you know, you can't foresee, you know, Biden letting all them people in. And what happened is the black immigrants was here. Biden didn't do a good job. Obama and them had it under control because home had worked for Obama when they were saying Obama got children in cages and all that. Y'all remember that? They were saying Obama had children in cages. You know what I'm saying? Remember, they said Obama was too strict on immigration. You remember that? See, people be forgetting. Y'all forgot this Obama? When they said, man, you remember? This a picture where they said Obama got the kids in cages. He was throwing them out. Get out. Period. Kids and all. Lock them up and get them out. That's what they were saying. Because when it's politics, they going to say whatever to win. So politics, when they running for office and stuff, it ain't really honest. They're going to try to find anything. The Democrats finna come back and do the same thing. They finna come back, look what you did. Yeah, they say it's breaking up families. But then Biden got in there, went to sleep, big business, went down there and told the Venezuelans to come up, got the Venezuelans to come up. Boom, they get a lot of money. Boom, a lot of men, soldiers age, come up. All of a sudden, Trump win. Before they get back down there, they all discombobulated. Boom, he go down there with the military, take the whole country from them. Now they going back. That was all planned. But see, people be like, Obama did this, Trump did that. No, they don't run nothing. The people that pay them campaigns, the filthy rich did all that. Trump didn't do this. Obama didn't do this. Biden didn't do this. This is all done by the people that got the money to pay for them campaigns. The real big people. The presidents and them ain't the people. So it's a bigger power that grant this play to go down there and get that oil and go down there and start growing them Chiquita bananas and stuff down there in Venezuela. It was a play, but it wasn't from them. They don't know what they doing. They led to do it in a way where they don't even know they led to do it. They had them do stuff to make, and they think they did it. It's a dirty game. They really be thinking they doing that on their own all the time. No, you doing this for big business. It was a play the whole time. There was campaigns down there telling them people to come to America. Who did that? That was a play. If you're going to attack a country, get all they fighting soldiers up this way, attack, discombobulate them, send them back home to work for you. Come from down there, let me take your land, take your grandmama land, take all your land, and then send you back, your land gone. Go live over here. This property is owned by Chiquita Banana, Diamond Almonds, boom. This one, that one. Go back down there. When they get back home, they're going to be living on U.S. property and growing food for the U.S. property, period. Because the people that run this country, they do not change every election. They on both sides. I'm the big millionaire. I got two companies. I had this company fund the Democrat and this company funded the Republican. Whoever wins, one of my guys funded you. So we good. That's how it go. But see, the immigrants start getting sloppy. So they got to get them out. They got to go. Yeah, they gonna throw them out. It's gonna be ugly, man. It's gonna be sad, but it's gonna be ugly, man. My advice to the black immigrants: when you really see they really coming, just leave on your own. Just leave. They're gonna be offering money for you to leave on your own. Just take it and leave, rather than get locked up and all of that and have to go back the hard way and be. It's gonna be bad if you make them come get you. And so many Africans is just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Played themselves because when we start pushing FBA and say we want to delineate, that wasn't enough for Africans to get mad at. Delineating ain't anti-African. It's just us coming up with some identity. Well, Africans start getting all on X and stuff, disrespecting black Americans and saying we ain't nothing but slaves, all type of stuff. Meanwhile, ain't doing the sisters' hair and stuff, so the sisters boycotted them doing hair and all that. And they did all that stupid stuff in front of white America. Now white Americans say, okay, now that the black Americans don't like you, we're going to slam your ass on the ground and throw you out. They ain't got no help now. Black Americans don't like Africans. I do because I know better. But black Americans don't like black immigrants no more since they've been beefing with us. Black Americans don't like black immigrants no more, and black Americans don't like Pan-Africans no more. Because Pan-Africans from the United States look like sellouts because they still pushing that, although they see these people disrespecting us. A lot of black Americans can't wait till Umar go to prison. Facts. They can't wait till he go to prison because they feel like you seen these people disrespecting us, but you so busy holding on to Pan-Africanism. And then you from Panama or something, you ain't no foundational black American. So you ain't going to ride with us. So you, Umar, you talk about we all the same. But when it comes down to ride with us, you don't ride with us because you know we not the same because you ain't no foundational black American. So you talking this black unity on one hand, but ain't ride with FBA on the other hand because you not FBA, because you're not going to get no reparations. So Dr. Umar is a fraud. I told him to his face. He's a fraud because he don't stand with black Americans in America for what we want because he not getting none. But then he turned around and said, we all black and we unified. Well, if we all black and unified, why you ain't unified with what we trying to do? Because you was a fraud. And we can't wait till you go to prison. I speak for a lot of black Americans. Can't wait till Dr. Umar get thrown in prison. Facts. Go against us, it's F you. Period. All that, this 2026 rules now. This ain't 2019 or nothing. And a lot of people understand that. The rules have changed. Ain't no more of that extra love no more. That's over with. So I know a lot of people say, dang, bro, you being rough. It's 2026. We not, the old rules is out of there. All that trying to get other blacks to like us and all that, we like, nah, we done with you. Blacks don't want to move to Africa. We don't want to have nothing to do with none of you. We just want to do our thing the way we've been doing it. And we don't care if we throw you all out of here. Because you ain't benefited us, what we losing? It's like you in a relationship. If the woman throw you out and ain't losing nothing, that's why she throw you out. What's she losing? If the man don't want to be with you no more, it's because he not losing nothing. You ain't adding nothing. So you want to break up. You got to bring something to the table. And black immigrants just came and ate off our table. They didn't never bring nothing. You could at least bought some sodas to the picnic. You want to eat all the other food up. You ain't bring nothing. Then you hating. You want to come do our hair and do all this and mistreat us. Man, listen, throw them out of here. Black women, go open up your own. To all them African hair shop ladies, get them the hell out of here. Bye. You don't like us. And Foundation of Black Americans, we just accept it. Okay, they don't like us. So now when we find out you don't like us and we don't like you, now they want to act like we the ones don't like you. No, we found out you don't like us. Tell the truth. We found out you don't like us. Territory, and you can't come to the United States and don't like me here. I cannot go to Nigeria and dislike Nigerians and Nigerians. I don't know what's wrong with Africans. You know why Africans treat us like that? Because Africans look up to the European, and in his mind, this is the European lands. You're nobody. I don't have to respect you. They don't respect our input in the land. They think as long as the European don't go with it, they can come here and say anything to us. And to be honest with you, the best thing happened to them is for America to throw them out. Because if we would have started getting at them, it would have been bad. It would have been way worse than ICE. Because that's all was going to happen if they would have kept talking greasy. It was going to be bad. If they would have put themselves in a position where they ops like an opposite gang, how you think that would have went? See what I'm saying? So they just slow in. I don't know what's wrong with them. They should have known, don't come here talking crazy. Don't get on the internet. And I kept trying to tell them, get off the internet disrespected because you're putting Africans in America in danger. You way in Africa saying all this stuff. And then blacks got to go outside and see Africans outside. That don't make no sense. That's like me. You will never see me get on the internet and just be disrespecting Africans and putting black Americans in Africa in danger. Why would I do that? Even now, you don't see me disrespecting Africans because black Americans is over there putting them in danger. I can't get on here talking crazy about Ghanaians disrespecting Africans. And then black Americans is over there. I put my own brothers and sisters from my own turf in danger. Like that's, come on, man. Dr. Umar is on his way to prison, just a matter of time. They building the case on him right now. He'll be apprehended any day. He's going to prison. For a long time. Dr. Umar don't know nothing about the United States. He think he could go and file all that government paperwork and collect all that money and don't dot his I's and cross his T's and don't have that money, bro. Man, he going to prison just like Marcus Garvey. He loved Marcus Garvey. He going to prison for scamming just like Marcus Garvey. He's going to prison because he got none of that money. He ain't been filing his taxes correct, and he's going to prison. It ain't no doubt. He'll be lucky if he stay out in 2026. It'll be a miracle. Because if you ask me, he's going to prison before July. They building the case on him right now. They coming for him. Dr. Umar going to prison. He better be able to show every penny, which he can't. He didn't raise enough money to be doing. He did nothing with that school. That was all a scam, allegedly. Yeah, he's done, and he's got some type of something. I believe something mentally wrong with him. Because anybody else would have been left. He just over here till they grab him. I can't believe he don't know he going to prison. They even took all that money and did nothing with it. Signed, you know that non-for-profit and raise the money, that's legal. You got to sign government documents. He got government. He got certain years he ain't been reporting no money. You can't have no non-for-profit and don't report money every year. He got big old spaces where don't nobody know how much he got, where it went. He don't got none of the money. Ain't nothing in the school. Ain't nothing to show the difference between the money he raised and where it went. They done shut him down on how many apps to collect money. All that's FBI evidence that they had to shut your PayPal, shut your this, shut your that, because they feel like you was scamming. And he's still running around running his mouth. People saying his mama's up in there crippled in a dirty house in a room. She can't move or nothing. He just be leaving her there for days, all that. Because he bought the sister that take care of his mom. His sister mistreated the sister. She told everything. Say, it's junk everywhere. My mama can't even move around. And she like handicapped and sick. He be leaving her there for days. She'll be laying in her own waste and stuff. This is what the lady said. He going to prison. They gonna go kick that door in. They gonna go in there and get his mama. It's gonna be bad. Watch. And it's crazy because anybody can see it. Anybody can see something wrong with Umar. Yeah, I can see that. If you can't see something wrong with him, anybody can see something wrong with him. He almost like one of them cult leaders. You can see it. They just don't want to see it. There's schools everywhere, man. Come on, man. There's schools everywhere. He could have got a school, been had it open. There's schools everywhere. Man, the amount of money he raised, about $2.5 million. Man, the school could have been open. That kind of money? $2.5 million school ain't open? That building, and you ain't paying no $2.5 million for that building. Where's all the money? Crazy, man. People switched they switched over from preachers to like black conscious preachers. They took the same scam the preachers was doing in some of the churches and brought that over to, Kemet, Hebrew Israelite, Moors, Pan-Africans. It's nothing but like conscious church scammers. Just change it from Jesus to something else. That's all they did. So look, that's all I got to say about that. Try not to get on the beefs and stuff like that. And like I said, keep your license with you. Get a copy of your birth certificate, all that. We got to show papers. Listen, it is what it is. You're going to have to show papers. You're going to have, if they pull up on you, you're going to have to prove who you are. You might not have to, but you might have to. So get your birth certificate, keep it on you. If you change your name, do like me. I got my change of name papers and my birth certificate, both of them with me. Keep your license with you. And if the ICE or somebody or the Border Patrol pull you over, don't get hyped. Stay just like this. When you stay just like this, they stay just like this. And they're going to let you go. If you get hyped, they get hyped. And because they out there with people spitting on them and doing all type of stuff, you get hyped, it could cost you your life. So just stay cool and calm, show them who you are. And if you're an American citizen, ain't nothing going to happen anyway. If they want to put you in their car and arrest you, take you somewhere, it don't matter. They ain't going to do nothing but take you and let you go. Just like they let Don Lemon go. They ain't going to do nothing, so relax. Just relax. Let them take you. They're going to take you wherever they're going to take you. The people there are going to be more professional than the people picked you up. They're going to look, oh, okay, you could go. It's real simple. And whatever you do, keep Trump's name out your mouth. No protests. Stay away from the protests. Foundation of Black Americans, stay away from the protests. Keep your ID on you. And stay away from the protest. I can't say much enough. And don't be on the internet. Don't say shit about Trump. Keep your mouth shut. Talking about Trump is just like saying, hey, mistreat me. And, respect to all the blacks out there, all the foundational Black Americans that consider yourself Native Americans, all right? Victory.